Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes.
Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay. I have one juicy on the name.
Let's try them. Let's still try.
Oh, dang. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when you only do one stream a week. I get all rusty and it just feels weird. But hello there, everyone. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around. I'm a toy collector, toy photographer, and toy reviewer sometimes. And thank you for tuning in. Happy Thursday. You're watching Unboxing Thursdays. I've got a huge box right here. The intro every week says I've got a huge pile of toys to open, but every week it seems like there's another huge box, which I'm very grateful for. But and this stream is a weekly push for me to unbox these things so I can make space to buy more and bigger toys. And I'm lucky to every week sit down and chat with another collector in the community and open toys and discuss this wonderful hobby. So thank you for tuning in, whether you're tuning in live right now or you're catching up later, whether you're an opener, a toy opener, or a mint on card collector. Don't forget, welcome here. Welcome to hang out and watch the live stream. Hit the thumbs up if you like what's going on here on the channel every week, and consider subscribing if you haven't already with the notifications on. And share. Let everyone know that I'm live now. Let them know wherever you can. All of that helps bring more eyes and ears, I guess, to the channel. So thank you so much. If you prefer Twitch, if you are a Twitch user and you prefer that, this is available there as well. Twitch.tv/toyingaround. The channel recently hit 3,000 subs. Thank you for everyone who's subscribed. Especially huge thanks to the channel members, also known as the Butter Nation. You guys, it's awesome people who sign up and support the channel, and it's a huge motivation to keep going every week. So thank you so much. Last week's episode, so much fun. I was on here chatting with Ryan from Hasbro and my friend Kyle from Super 7. Ryan was opening Super 7 stuff. Kyle was opening Marvel, Hasbro, Legends. It was just a cool to see that kind of industry, two sides coming together and opening stuff. So that's awesome. If you haven't watched it yet, it's available to watch. Probably not this weekend because it's Hasbro PulseCon this weekend. You'll be super busy catching up with that stuff. So after that, watch that episode. Next week, I will have on some of the amazing people behind the Street Humans Kickstarter. So, I'm pretty interested in some of those figures and characters and the whole process. So, so make sure you're subscribed and tune in next week for that stream. Tonight's guest, you know him from the ACBA podcast. He has a YouTube channel as well, Fabster360. This is Fabio.
Hey, what up? Totally not just making a story in the middle of your intro.
No, you want me to take you off and then go finish the story?
No, I posted it exactly right when you came on. So that quick little instance, that was actually great timing. What's up, man?
Yeah, well, thank you for being on.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. This has been, a minute coming. I think it's been a while since I even came on here with the ACBA podcast. So, it's just cool to be back.
That was in February, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a long time coming. Just a solo crossover episode we got going here.
These are, you don't get that one-on-one time in the group episodes. So, it gets to know you a little bit more, and, what you're doing with all this stuff. We see the enormous Mezco collection there behind you. Let me give you the big window, and why don't you let everyone know what you do, what you collect, what kind of stuff you're into, and just plug away. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Just plug away.
For sure. So yes, I'm Fabio. My friends call me Fobster, so that's my channel name, Fabster360. Just another toy YouTuber out here, but my lane that I try to stay in is in the Mezco 112 collective world and other similar like 112 scale soft goods, premium figures, rather than a lot more like retail stuff. I've been collecting since Spider-Man classics into wave 1 of Toy Biz Marvel Legends. Like I was there from jump. that was my childhood line that I collected, into my teen years, and then finally into adulthood when it came back with Hasbro, and they started doing the Return of Marvel Legends and everything. And then that led me to a bunch of other companies like NECA and Diamond Select and everyone, all these great retail lines doing really cool stuff. And then somewhere along the way, I just kind of like grabbed, right around the time that Mezco started hitting with their Dark Knight Return stuff, I got into that. And then at the time, I was kind of looking for like a flagship DC line, kind of to go with like a 6-inch Marvel Legends style. And there wasn't really anything at the time. Icons was like still controversial, and DC Essentials was basically still like 8-point of articulation figures.
Right.
So it brought me to Mezco as like, oh, this is my flagship DC line. And then eventually I kind of started prioritizing Mezcos over other stuff that I was collecting. And eventually I was just like, I think I just want to let all the other stuff go and really like focus on this stuff. And doing the math in my head, it's like, yeah, I could either spend, this amount on X amount of Marvel Legends waves per year, or, cut it down to what is essentially fewer releases of single figures per year, but at a higher price point and in the format and scale that like still is familiar to me without going like full 1/6 scale. Like that's not, I didn't grow up necessarily with like GI Joes or like the 12-inch figures. So
Right.
To me, 6 inches, like where even going to 7-inch, I was like, whoa, this is a little weird. But yeah, 6 inches is what I prefer. And I think, Mezco in terms of the premium game are the ones doing it best. And they're onto something because there's so many of these like third-party lines and other like soft goods companies coming out, and individual artists out there just killing it.
I know if some of your boys are watching, there are some very unfortunate quotables within the last 30 seconds that someone is definitely going to edit out of context.
Oh, well, isn't that just amazing? That's what
sure.
this kind of format is exactly for. Sometimes I portray points of view that are not my own for, comedic purposes, ironically, but I will do my best to be as genuine as possible so that people don't do that.
It's cool, man. No, I mean, I collect Mezco too. I think I was a lot more heavily invested in Mezco metaphorically. Now I'm more so heavily invested in Mezco, like literally, like with the pre-orders,
Yes.
whatnot, like literally money that's just sitting there.
You're theoretically a Mezco collector. You
yeah,
have the promise of one day being a Mezco collector.
Yeah, so I've kind of slowed down, but it's always been a brand that I really dug what they were doing, the quality and the kind of stuff they were giving consumers. So you have your channel that pretty much dedicates, like you said, to Mezco, but also like the soft goods kind of that whole type theme of Mezco collecting, even though it's still 1/12, but it's like the soft goods and everything. So I think that's really cool, man.
Thank you, dude. I think it's indicative of just kind of like, I think somewhere along the way, I kind of became a fan of the industry too. And so this to me speaks to like what I like about the industry. And I kind of like that, like the Barbie model is essentially back, where we're just buying blank bodies and sets of clothes and like third-party head sculpts and just like making our own figures, which is great for, people with shaky, untalented hands who can't paint.
Yeah, that's me.
Right. It's so much easier to slap on an outfit and a magnetized or like a hollowed out ball joint head sculpt than like fully priming and painting a whole figure and everything for an outfit.
Yo, so before we get to the toys that we are unboxing tonight, I've got so much stuff. This might be a long one.
I think I know, but and I'm excited for you because I was already a part of such an unboxing earlier this week. So
yeah, the timing was because you guys did one already on the ACBA channel, but this one will be with a slightly better image quality until I make my bite.
Yes, I hope so. I watched it. If Hasbro was looking for a good representation of their product, they could have looked elsewhere. It was, some people were calling it the Minecraft version of all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
that was funny, man. I think it was yours.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And that was kind of an impromptu thing. I didn't even know what it was that we were unboxing until I jumped on.
Well, yeah, we're going to get to that in a second. I just want to shout out people who are here in the chat. Thank you so much. Episode 73. Like, damn. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. We have Mr. Adam Van Wickler, Mr. Playing With Myself, a new addition to the Butter Nation.
We call him AV Dubs.
Nobody calls him.
Wow.
Nobody.
I chanted in crowded arenas, but people think I'm talking about All Elite Wrestling.
I call him Lady Van Deathstrike. Adam Van Deathstrike. We have Lucky Butter representing the Tuesday crew here. Darth Gutierrez, another channel member. How's it going? Toy Rensu, that wrestling hound. I put a new emoji for the channel members. If you don't know what a channel member is, obviously everyone's welcome to join in and watch the stream. Becoming a channel member is completely optional, but it's a way for you to support the channel. It's like a couple bucks a month. You get different perks with the different tiers, and then there's access to these emojis in the chat. It just brings a whole different level of interaction if the live interaction is the focus of this. So you can check that out. There's a pinned link in the comments. We have Marcus. Yeah, so the new emoji is the wrap it up button from Chappelle's Show. By the time I drew it out, the wrap it up text in the square is really small, so it looks like I'm gonna have to change that. Thank you for letting me know, guys. Winger Loses here, fellow Canadian Andrew J. LaBoy or Andrew JLA Boy. I'm still not sure which one it is. I have your prize ready from the 3K giveaway episode. I'll hit you up with some tracking soon. We have Paul Morales. Welcome. He's here every week. Toy Malarkey. Justin is here. Omar Vasquez. What's going on, man? Capono Bear. I mean, you guys don't need to do this on the ACBA podcast because you have like 1,000 people. So, I appreciate it.
That's what's great about this, though. You have that personal one-on-one thing. I try to, do as much as I can with that on the channel, because that's ultimately the point. I love this kind of interaction.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like you're one-on-one, so it's like it's just you. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, with 4 voices on the podcast, it's like we can't have those 4 plus always everyone in the chat. Some select ones for sure, but it's not necessarily chat driven.
Yeah, we have Trevor McGuire, Figure Fan Nate. How's it going, Nate? Everyone, go check out the Figure Booth. New podcast episodes every Sunday and sometimes live streams on Monday with Prime to the First. Adam,
I know Figure Fan. He's a regular on the Figure Collective Discord.
Nice. We have Omega Weapon 13. AZ Toy Hunters Guild is here. Made it just in time. Yeah, we're just starting up here, getting warmed up. We have the homie 796 Studios, my fellow enabler. He
it's
says,
a hand to Mario.
You're at dinner. He's probably out at the bar trying to pick up ladies in his enabler t-shirt. August Photo Inc. Yoko is here for on Twitch. I don't even know. I'm so out of it. Man Beast Boy, welcome. Happy Thursday. Plasti says buenas noches. NYC Figure Fanatic sent me a cool message the other day just asking about how I got to meet all these people in the industry, or like was that from before that made me start the channel. I'm like, that's a really good question. Can address that later. And we have I Am Micah, Cerebral Deep, welcome, another channel member. Bearded Builds, what's going on, Peter? Loki, welcome. Am I caught up? Am I there? Chad Kinsler's in the house. Berserk 69. B Rivera. All right. Oh shoot. And it just jumped. There's more. Mega J Retro says, what are we unboxing? Everything. What aren't we unboxing? Cap Lives says, the most ambitious crossover toying around 360.
Yes, because you take one look and you turn 360 and toy all the way around.
Yeah, toy 360. No, this sounds better. No, you got it. Right, you got it. Pack Photos, AI's Collectibles, another member of the Butter Nation. Ulysses Ramos. Sean Reed. I'm almost there. Shav Gold. Henrock NYC says, yo, Fabster, what you got in the bag?
Bro, I got that bag. I see some regulars from the channel. There's Henrock. What's up, man? I saw a few others. We got Pac Photos and Trevor McGuire is a regular too. So yeah, thank you all for following over here. This is great to see you guys.
Man,
Noni M, most importantly, my first super chat. Noni M is here.
That's cool because
he's the dollar framed on the wall back here.
Kevin McAllister says, I'm a subscribe once my parents come back from France. I read this comment first and I'm like, what's this guy's deal? And then I looked at the name again and I'm like, yo, Home Alone is like probably my favorite movie. So
Yeah.
way to play the character. I love it. I love it.
That's-
Please stick around because I will highlight comments like this forever, man.
I need more in-character commentary from this
Yeah.
Kevin McAllister account.
This is amazing. This is amazing. Thank you. We have Edwin Perez Jr., Noni M, as you mentioned. Thank you, people who are new to the channel. We're just going to open some toys here. That's what I do every week. If you like what's going on, feel free to subscribe. We have Des RE fan. Rick Jones. Chamba is here. Says, nice. This should be a good one. Oh, thanks, Chamba. You added a nice in the beginning. That means he really means it this time. Dragon Eyes 69 says, hey, Butter Nation. What's up, Fabster? ACBA podcast reppin'. Oh,
Certainly
shit.
are. I wish I'd worn a shirt, but I just wore my only Star Wars shirt just for you, Kev.
It's weird. Your hair goes into the square and it looks like you're wearing overalls.
I'll take it.
It got me twice. Noni M, thank you for the super chat. Says, Fabster, are we going to see that Conan tonight? All right. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. And that's the perfect segue into what we're going to do next. Fabio, you collect a lot of Mezco, but we're going to unbox some stuff tonight. That's the name of the show. What have you got? Let's see it.
So like I said, I've been holding some stuff off from actually opening it just for you. And like I was saying in the beginning, I don't collect quite as much stuff. So my piles are usually pretty minimal, 1 or 2 releases, maybe a month, maybe 3, depending on con season and everything. But
right. Despite
a bunch of delays, they've been able to get some of the Rumble Society stuff out here pretty on time. Hey, I thought so too. Well, maybe I should get some at this point. Maybe they would go well.
Bringing it back.
I have been holding some stuff off for you. My Hawk P40 did not arrive because Boog picked that up for me with the intention to review, and then he didn't get around to it, and then it just wasn't going to make it in time for the show. But I do have Red Death Doc Nocturnal, the variant,
beautiful
Slugfest exclusive from a couple of months ago. This one was like kind of late to ship out. It was like in stock, but it didn't ship out till like a month later. And then this was an actual pre-order, the Musquatch. Pretty cool box. It's like kind of more yellow on top on this side, and then this side's like all green, but with like yellow in the eyes. And it's all, if we're featuring the boxes at all, it's all felty right here. It's all
flocked lettering on the top.
It's so unnecessary, even on top. Why?
It's so unnecessary. No, man, that's good. It's packaging.
It's sick. Yeah, I love the art on it. Yeah, it looks great. So yeah, very excited to. I'll be honest though, just in terms of how Mezco's customer service and like returns and stuff works, I did open them to inspect them to make sure there was no breaks, so that I would be in the window in case there were.
You have 10 days, right?
Yeah, exactly. So in those 10 days, I did just open them, but I haven't displayed them or put them up quite yet. Just put them through the paces.
It's okay. Some people rebox their things to reopen. It's all good. You don't really have to say anything. It's all about the conversation.
Plastic breaking the fourth wall here. It's all about transparency.
You think you're gonna get canceled because they're like that wasn't a new toy that he
unboxed. Who knows, man?
It's gonna be on the front of Toy Arc tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Toy Farce for sure.
Yeah, no, he will put that. That's actually a great story. I hope he's. Oh no, he's probably sleeping. He wakes. If we do the really late streams in like a few hours, he'll be like, "Good morning," and he just woke up. What's going on, Nasser? Happy Thursday.
And then to go along with the new stuff, I brought out like the other things that correspond with those characters. The first Doc Nocturnal and the Hazard Squad Commander, and a couple other things that I might try to kit bash with some parts that from the existing Mezco collection. So yeah, very excited to crack into these for sure. It's been a long time coming.
Thank you. I sometimes feel bad when I invite someone that they're like, oh, how do you wait until every Thursday to open things? I got so much stuff I got to wait and open it. I feel kind of bad, but it'll be more enjoyable, I guess, now when you finally get to it. Ulysses Ramos says, I'm unboxing modular Iron Man.
Ooh, nice.
That's cool, man. If anyone's watching right now, you're unboxing something while you're watching along, post a picture on Instagram. You can tag me at toyingaround. You can put hashtag toyingaround. You can put it on Twitter and let me know. It's cool to see people unboxing things as they go, as they're watching. So I always like to see that.
Yeah, the event that, you know, I always lurk, you know, even if I'm not commenting and whatever, I'm usually lurking in a lot of people's streams if I see that they're up, just to, you know, support and all that stuff. So in the event that I do have something to open, I do wait until, you know, your show to go ahead and live vicariously.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you. As people in the chat or people watching may or may not know, tomorrow is Hasbro PulseCon, the beginning of Hasbro PulseCon. How do you do this? There we go.
Hey.
Full screen, kind of. There's a new app. It's US only, so I'm not going to go into that because I'm in Canada. If you're in the US, go download it. Check it out. Hope it works.
Oh my God.
Where's
Is this another way for premium members to get their stuff last?
I don't know. I don't like. It's very ballsy to launch a new app for a huge convention where you can order stuff. I think. I hope it works, but then I don't know. I'll get into it in a second with the Mezco stuff. But here's the list of the events for the next 2 days if people haven't seen it yet. Day 1, Power Rangers, Ghostbusters, Transformers, and Star Wars. Day 2, G.I. Joe, Avalon Hill. I don't know what that is. Fortnite, Nerf, Magic the Gathering, musical guest Weezer.
I hope they play Africa over and over.
And then the Legends panel at 2:00, and then 4 p.m. Eastern, Hasbro Pulse Premium early access starts. So that's when you have early access to get exclusives and whatnot. And if you watch the ACBA channel, if you've been looking around Instagram, Hasbro Pulse was super cool to send out a box of. See, I still have the table really far forward for the Sentinel unboxing last week, but it's a good thing because I got one of these boxes too. If you saw on the like I said, the ACBA podcast, Boog went through the items that was in this box. So that's what I'm going to be going through today.
That's awesome. I hope you have, you know, 1 or 2 different things. There's probably a couple that are in there that are givens, but I wonder if you'll have, you know, say it's not an exclusive and maybe something in an upcoming wave, and you'll have a different item from that same wave or something.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that. And then I also got. Do you do Power Rangers? Are you a Power Rangers fan?
I grew up with Power Rangers. I will not be a Power Rangers collector until the Mezcos hit. I collected them when I was a kid though, but I never really touched the Bandai stuff and was already deep into Mezco by the time Hasbro got around to them.
Whoops.
But I do like Power Rangers, especially Mighty Morphin.
Nice. Well, today a friend of mine helped me grab this Power Rangers in Space Silver Ranger from GameStop Canada. I think it's an exclusive because I haven't seen it anywhere else or seen it announced anywhere else. I don't know. Was this officially announced? I haven't seen any official.
Like I've only ever seen pictures of that like yesterday or today.
The first time I saw this was, I don't know, like a picture from overseas in Asia, and someone's like, "Hey, look what I have!" And then all of a sudden, it's in stores here. So, shout outs to my friend Nelson who grabbed this for me, and I'm going to be unboxing this as well. People in the chat, whatever you've seen, you know, Fabio or myself hold up tonight, what do you want to see us open first? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah.
Fabio, what are you most excited to get to?
I gotta say probably Red Death Doc Nocturnal, just because I already know there's a lot of like kit bash stuff I want to do with him in terms like I have stuff set aside for accessories I know he comes with that I already want to replace. So there's going to be a lot of fun options with this dude for sure, and especially putting him side by side with the OG one and seeing how like their accessories all interchange and everything. So
nice.
It's going to be a lot of dolly dress up pretty soon.
I like that one because I really like the Doc Nocturnal, but then I'm like, red is not really enough to get me. And then they're like, but there's part swapping and there's all this stuff. I was like, oh, that's so good, but I couldn't do it. But I ended up passing, so I will be looking forward to your unboxing.
I'm such a sucker for like anything predominantly red and black. So if it's this bright, you know, Dog Nocturnal was already that red and black, but you invert those colors and brighten them up. Oof, I'm a sucker. I'm a complete simp for that.
He's like the webman version
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
Doc Nocturnal.
he's the player 2 palette swap Doc Nocturnal.
Yeah, man, get to it. Well, you can get to it. You can get started if you want. I wanted to bring up with you. We talked about pre-ordering.
Mhm.
Isn't it crazy? Like pre-ordering mezcos is this whole culture. There's a process. There's an unwritten process, unwritten rule. There's like tips and stuff you got to know. If someone's new to mezco and they're like, oh, my credit card's not loading. It's not doing this. It's not doing that. And the people who've been there from like years, they're like, it must be your first day. You know?
Yeah, the James
You need
Franco.
your credit card information first. You got to do this. You got to do that. It's I don't know. Isn't it crazy that it's this whole thing? Is this whole process for this?
Yeah.
company?
I think every company has their processes and like the way that they do things. I remember like when I was doing NECA a lot, getting their con exclusive like through their website at the time, but then also being able to pick it up at the show was like a crazy thing. And it also had its super fast sellout windows, especially the first few years they were doing the movie Ninja Turtle sets and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like that I think trained me in terms of the getting used to like quick sellouts online for stuff that is, essentially made to order, maybe with a limited quantity sometimes, but with pre-orders, if it's something that's made to order, that's kind of weird when it like sells out or whatever. Mm-hmm. But with as far as like in stock stuff, I was already used to that kind of culture from doing con exclusives for other companies, and that learning Mezco's website itself was like its own kind of challenge as far as just getting used to it. Like I didn't learn it any other way. There was no me to go on YouTube and like talk about how to do it right back then. So I had to like miss the original Agent Gomez with the comic the first time, or I think it was technically the Toy Fair version. And then I missed that when it was like super fast pre-order. And then they subsequently did the comic version and I was able to snag that. So, I've lost plenty of stuff. Classic Punisher. I just had to learn, the hard way, and get better at it the next time, which is kind of the way I handle most things. Is like, I can sit and like be mad about it, or I can just like do better next time.
Yeah, Trevor McGuire brings up a good point. Says I just use PayPal for Mezco drops. If you're good with it, you pay the entire amount up front. Mm-hmm. The good part is when it finally releases, you're like, you get that email, it's shipping now, and you go, oh, good, I already paid. Like,
right, free toys, yay!
Yeah, but then you're just out that money for however long you're waiting for a pre-order item. Oh my god! Honestly, I thought last week opening this thing was a hassle with the other table. I'm not going to do that again because that was ridiculous. I had to use my foot to kick the shipper box. Did you get a Sentinel?
Yeah, I got one. I unboxed it on my channel maybe a month ago now, maybe 3 weeks ago. I actually got it delivered live on the ACBA podcast. Like FedEx rang my doorbell in the middle of the show, and I ran off to get it. And yeah, it's a massive, massive box. I understand you got 3. I don't know if they were all for you, but you were delivered 3. So yeah. I can imagine. But yeah, I have it. I have enjoyed it. Thankfully, I got him kind of early before a lot of people were starting to get the big round of delays.
Right. So on your YouTube, which you've mentioned, you talk about a lot of Mezco stuff. On your IG as well, mm-hmm. You've done some cool updates for people.
Yeah, this is basically just something I did as like a visual aid for my channel, like just so that when the shipping updates happen, I would just be able to have a quick reference thing to like mouse over, kind of like you're doing now. Yeah. But the way I started doing them is I basically am teaching myself graphic design. So I just thought it would be a good graphic design exercise. Everyone, like when the shipping updates happen, it's like the talk of the Mezco community. So, it's easy to go to, multiple different sources, and they have all the, everything neatly listed out. Discord like goes crazy. Like that's why I love the Mezco Discord. It started as a Mezco Discord, but it's the Figure Collective. It's run by Bill from the Dork Lair, I believe, and he has like a running like checklist of all the Mezco stuff on like an Excel or like a Google Docs document. So everything gets uploaded like there. And there's tons of people who like don't know about all that, who maybe don't know how Reddit or Discord and like all the different people in the community also compile this information. And it's easier for me to talk about it if I just have one thing that I'm referring to on my channel. And then from there, I put it back to the people who I got the information from, essentially. Like I put it back into Discord. I put it back into usually Reddit, because that's mostly where I hang out.
Okay.
I try to like kind of do them like the first time I did them, it wasn't that good. I'm actually pretty happy with the way this one came out, because I just did more things to it, and it was kind of a running thing because the first round of updates came out like that day, like that morning, and then I got to like work on it, finished up, and then another update came. Like I think Bill was like, "Oh, now I posted it into Discord," and then Bill immediately replied, "Oh, but you got to update Michael Keaton Batman." Okay, so I get back, and because Michael Keaton Batman like completely like messed up the order how I was originally, I had to change the entire formatting of it. So went back, did that, posted it, and then someone's like, "Oh yeah, but now they delayed Ghost Rider." Okay, and then going back and doing the thing. So it it was like a fun thing ongoing throughout that day, and then it culminated in just finally like putting this out. And again, my role, I guess, is just to kind of make this entertaining to follow, because it can be so much, like you said, for new collectors who don't know how the website works, who don't know that Mezco doesn't really tell you the shipping updates. It's up to people in the community to aggregate the information and then put it out on whatever platform they're familiar with. So it's not that's kind of like the goal of my channel, is to just kind of like make this a little fun, poke fun at myself and like how ridiculous this stupid hobby is most of the time. And
yeah, I mean, that's the best way to look at it. You don't have to take it so seriously, just have fun with it.
Exactly. That's cool. It's again, it's a way for me to practice my like graphic design and just get better at new skill. And I'm glad that I'm at the point where I started just doing terrible like shit post memes into like actual like infographics. Like I feel like that's a step up for sure.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff on deck. Obviously, man, are we gonna get? When's the Batman movie coming out? Oh, sorry, the Flash movie.
The Flash movie is like late 2022, I want to say.
Oh, is it that far? I was gonna say, are we gonna get Keaton in another Batman suit role before we get the actual Keaton figure? But honestly, I mean, based on this update, well, Batman Keaton 89 Keaton just got pushed back recently, right?
Yeah, so he was part of this latest round of updates.
Yeah,
this was like Thursday last week, I want to say, and I had done having nothing to talk about, honestly, up on my channel that day, like the previous Monday. I did another update real quick on just a few things that were like shipping, like processing and shipping alerts. That's stuff that people were already getting in hand, like the Doc Nocturnal and the Moss Watch, and then Conan and the Black Skulls were processing. And then like 2 days later, they just did a full round of delays. Like everything in red got pushed back, the Vapor got moved up, and then Conan and Black Skulls are still processing. I would assume Mosquatch or either of the con boxes are next after the Black Skulls, just because like I think Rumble Society kind of follows its own, shipping schedule or its own queue.
Are you?
Yeah, it's just one place to get the information for, again, people who just need one place for it to don't necessarily live this life, who are just kind of like spectators or casual people who like want to cherry pick here and there.
Are you a Mezco 1/12 collective completionist? You buy everything?
It is kind of why I chose to let go of most everything else, is because I realized that about myself, that I am a completionist, and if I could only pick one thing to be a completionist of, it's what made the most sense for me. But not just in terms of like being a completionist for completionist's sake, but also for like overall value of collection. Like I feel like every subsequent release adds to the previous releases that you have. Like I'm kind of going to do with the Doc Nocturnal here. All the parts that he comes with, can be added to other Mezcos or other figures that I already have. They're all in the same format and medium and from the same manufacturers. So from an OCD level, I'm like, it's all Mezco stuff. It all goes together.
That's cool, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's a glimpse into the box. I think, did Boog mention it on his stream how well packed this was?
If he did, it was probably garbled up and he sounded like Soundwave.
No, it was. I thought it was just the video that was choppy. I think audio was okay.
He got a little choppy at the end too, but no, we didn't get this amazing shout out to the logistics department at Hasbro.
Yeah, I don't know if they like put all this stuff and then designed a box and like I need these dimensions, or they just have a box surplus and they're like fill it with whatever you can. But this is crazy. This is what's inside.
Yeah, that's
again,
great.
Let me see.
That's as someone who keeps very very tidy shelves like that, I can definitely appreciate that.
So
I
like
just love
yeah,
it when-
I was watching the stream and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I wonder if when I got the box, because I wasn't told I was getting a box. I'm just like, oh, it'd be cool if I got one. And then when it showed up, I'm like, all right, we'll see how actually well packed this is, and it was crazy.
Dude, that's great. I'm glad you got a great relationship with Hasbro like that. They treat you well, man. That's really good because I mean, as evidenced by like your background, for example, it feels nice, you know, as a collector. Or I guess I'm asking you, does it feel nice as a collector to kind of be rewarded for your loyalty a little bit?
Does it feel nice to be rewarded for my loyalty? I like to
I
think
guess that's a
that
loaded question, isn't it?
it is. Whoa, who's doing the interview here? I'd like to
Wasn't an interview. I thought we were just hanging.
I'd like to think that it's, you know what, it does feel nice. Yeah, it does, because I never thought that you know, I'm just buying it because I like it. I'm not buying because I'm so loyal to this. I'm just like, I just see cool stuff and I want to collect it. I want it in my collection. I only did this because it was just something to do, you know, during the pandemic, to start opening toys. And I like that. It's cool that people caught on and they're into the show. And it's just, I never did it with the intention to get something out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just say like, oh, it's good to be rewarded. It's like, was I looking for a reward? Not necessarily. Is it cool to be recognized for something like that? Absolutely.
Okay, I feel
in that sense, yeah. And I mean, what's better than getting a giant box of toys?
Right, and that's key. Is you're keeping it authentic too. You know, like you're not getting this stuff again as a reward. That was probably bad wording on my part, but. For sure, it is recognized that you are passionate about this stuff. So it's, yeah, I guess rewarded isn't the right word, but yes, recognized. I think makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's a lot of exclusives there. You know, like that's
So
awesome.
Whoever's watching, thank you so much. Thank you for people who are watching right now, because if I'm putting out something that people are actually into, you know, your viewership and your support and all the Butter Nation and stuff puts me in this position to be able to do stuff like this. So thank you so much. Enough of being I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, I don't want to gush too much here.
If you haven't seen what's in this box, I'll still go through it for the people who haven't seen it yet. And Fabio's right, there are some exclusives. There are I don't think this one's an exclusive. Fortnite.
Yeah, I think that was just an early release.
Make this camera large.
Technically isn't coming out till, I didn't think Hasbro had Fortnite till next year.
I think, who is it? Jazzwares, I believe, has until the end of this year to keep selling or putting out new 6-inch Fortnite figures. Whoever's in the chat, feel free to correct me if you know different. But no, Jonathan says no, it's at Toys R Us already. However, you know, some of the retail stores here, stuff gets put out early that isn't supposed to. So that is not always indicative of whether it's supposed to be out or not. So that's all I can say. I don't know the dates personally, so I don't know. Do you Fortnite?
I played it, I don't know, a few years ago, like early, like season 2 or 3 or something. So it's been a very long time. It's changed a lot since then.
Okay. So yeah, I gave up because I'm so old. Like my reaction time in Call of Duty is already slow enough. So if you want me to do that and I have to build walls, construct things in my mind, like no, I can't. So
no, I was trash at building. Like I could shoot all right, but no, I was really bad at building. I never caught on to it. So, at that time I was just really into the battle royale genre. Like I was playing H1N1 was like another one.
The zombie one, right?
Yeah, the zombie one. Escape from Tarkov I was playing for a minute. There's a few games like that, but I kind of fell out of that genre altogether, and like shooters in general.
It was cool that they're like all the skins that they have though. Those are always nice. The different events.
Right.
And
I
you can
love that there's an entire generation of kids being like, "Oh, Predator, the guy from Fortnite."
Oh God. Oh God. There's a Nerf Halo blaster. The Needler.
The
And,
Needler, hell yeah.
We saw in the event there's going to be a Nerf section. So you know what? I don't recall seeing a Nerf portion before. Maybe it's a lot of these crossover type with some of the collector brands, I guess.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I know Halo, the license for toys necessary for action figures is with Mattel or with Jazzwares right now.
I think Jazzwares just posted that they have some stuff coming out soon.
Okay, yeah, they've been doing a Halo line for a minute, so that's cool that Hasbro just picked up the Halo for Nerf.
Infinity Saga. Dad bod Thor. We have a vintage collection, 3 3/4 scale, Emperor's Throne Room with Palpatine, Darth Vader and Luke not included.
Oh, okay.
And you can see.
And that was one of my questions when Boog opened that, or took it out of the box.
But he didn't hear you?
I don't think so. I don't think he knew.
Probably my most favorite piece of this is the exclusive Trapper Wolf Dave Filoni figure. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Do I think I'm gonna need it. I want to buy another one because I want to keep this and then I'm gonna open one because I have a cowboy hat prop, and then I have Jon Favreau. I had some ideas for this. I'm like, okay, but that requires me to open this, so we'll see.
That's
this is the exclusive Zartan. This was accidentally released at GameStop Canada a few weeks ago. I've seen some other people like MCU Collector who has this. He's had this for months, but MCU Collector doesn't count because that guy's on a whole different level with how he gets stuff. This thing is awesome. Like, it's got all these heads in there. It has this color change feature, I believe, on the figure where if you put it in the freezer or something, he changes blue. Packaging has a wheel that changes his faces.
So interactive.
Thomas Brock.
What a packaging experience.
You sit there wheeling it. A Ghostbusters.
Oh.
This is the...
okay. You got a different book.
Mm-hmm. The guy from Stranger Things, I think.
Yeah, Finn Wolfhard.
And you get a bath piece for the Sentinel Terror Dog. Pretty cool. I like the new Stay Puft effects for the little ones that they're using in the movie, and they have these in the toys. These are awesome.
That's cool.
Oh shoot! See, he be lurking, and then he was summoned. What's going on, man? The other one that I was pretty excited about is the Fortnite Meowscles.
Hell yeah, that's a sick one.
There should be no debate. It should not be. It's not Meowscles, right?
It's Meowscles.
Yeah, like muscles.
Yeah, Meowscles.
Meow. If anyone sees someone calling it Meowscles, please let them know. Meowscles.
I call them muscles as well, right?
Yeah.
To not confuse them with the seafood dish.
He's got these props, the gold bench press.
That's so sick.
And I missed the Jazzwares regular Meowscles, so that I was excited to get that one. The next one that I'm super excited for is the Amazon exclusive Power Rangers Lightning Collection Finster. You know what? I got to open this along with the silver. He's got little putties.
That's so cool. He's a little action figure collector of his own.
He's the OG toy
and everything.
OG toy sculptor, OG toy designer.
That's right.
Right? He's got his he's got these little clay versions that he's sculpted, and then you gotta send them to the factory to get a mold, get it casted and molded and all that stuff. There's a suitcase where you can hold them, all of his tools. And he looks, this face sculpt, like, Finster's dope. Transformers: War for Cybertron, Covert Agent Ravage.
Oh yeah, this is one of like the tape, like cassette tapes, his robot form.
Yeah, I'm not huge into Transformers, so somebody tell me if is this cool? I think my friend DK wants this.
I think this is cool.
Is it dope? Yeah, chat. Let me know. Dope or no? Mike,
Yeah.
yo, what's going on? High School Creations. He says dope. Finster, the OG army, the OG army builder. Yes. Oh man, this beast of a set. It is the Infinity Saga, Tony Stark, and Thanos.
Ooh, that's a nice gold on that Iron Man.
Yeah, it's a little like darker, right?
Yeah, but it's got a nice sheen to it just from seeing like the reflection of your lights.
And last but not least, let's set this one down. Oh boy. Star Wars, the Black Series.
Yeah.
This Power of the Force box, Cantina Showdown with Dr. What's-His-Face, Balchin, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. You have half of a Cantina bar there. This box is so beautiful. I remember
awesome.
Just seeing this kind of packaging on shelves when I was working in the comic shop back in the day. Like this packaging is pure nostalgia, man. It's crazy. I'm assuming that you'll get the aliens later on as a single release figure. I'm hoping maybe in like a year or two. But yeah, it's beautiful.
I was telling Bug too the same thing. I'll tell you. Now that you have one, you can guilt-free get a second one and build a complete bar.
Right, because in the promo images they showed a complete bar, but in the fine print it was like you have to buy both. You have to buy two to build the entire bar. So
I hope when it goes up for sale for Pulse Premium members that they're able to at least make the limit, two per person. Like give everyone a chance to at least build a complete bar, because it kind of makes sense. Like who wouldn't kind of want to? I guess it depends on shelf space and everything and like how it fits into your collection, but. Mm-hmm. If I could ironically gatekeep, it's like, well, if you want to be a real fan, you have to get the full bar set. You got to make it screen accurate.
No,
that's why I'm not a Star Wars collector, because that's the stupid rabbit hole I would drive myself into. This is my one piece of Star Wars memorabilia merch.
The what is it even on the shirt?
It's like a Japanese poster for
okay.
Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, that's cool. I love those.
Yeah, there's in one of the beach towns here in LA, they do like a yearly or like seasonal like street fair kind of thing, and there's a dude who just does like all these crazy like screen printed shirts with like foreign posters and one sheets and stuff. So every time, it's like maybe 2 shirts for $25 or something. So I at least get 2 shirts every time.
Oh, that's a steal.
Yeah, right. It's super nice. They're so soft, but. Again, yeah, that's why I'm not a Star Wars collector, is because it's like, oh, you mean there's 7 scout troopers and 4 of them have bikes? Yeah, I'm ruined.
Yeah, yeah, you would. It's hard to be a Black Series collector and try to not be a completionist, because they're making their best efforts to make every trooper out there.
They'll get them all.
Trevor McGuire says, "Got to be the sweetest swag box Hasbro ever did." I would not dispute that at all. Let me go big screen. I do want to say, thank you again for people who support the channel and watching, people who believe in the channel that would send me stuff like that. It means a lot, and I can't wait to get into it. Some of the stuff I might already have. So people who supported me, I'm probably going to do a giveaway at some point of some of the extra items, just because, I think I'll do like a giveaway, a random draw or something, and just give back to the channel. So I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you.
And thank you, Kevin, for having me.
And it's at that point where I tell myself to wrap it up right here. Oh, I do have the thank you image in the corner. There we go. Wrap it up. All right, let's open something, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty into this Doc Nocturnal right away. I mean,
How was it?
he is striking, just very striking. And I even knowing there would be an opportunity to show it off, I brought the black light out. I'm charge up his face, just see how it looks.
Oh, I thought Peter was saying like Star Wars collecting overall was gonna be tough, but he meant you were wearing Star Wars overalls. I just got it. Okay.
What's that? Hang on. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty nice. The watch too kind of has a little glow to it as well. It's just not picking it up as much. See that?
Yeah, it was a cool, very cool character design to begin with.
Yeah, it's really. I think it was in the Page interview. He was saying that Doc Nocturnal was based on like one of his old like Kenner Batman or like superheroes Batman, like just an old Batman figure that he had customized to turn into Doc Nocturnal. So
yeah, I think he said something like that's where it started, and then obviously it was developed along the way with a lot of like designers and stuff.
Mhm.
To create, but like it started off as him playing with something like that. Sounds familiar.
Right. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Right away, like one of the big changes is that the glow in the dark head is on like this kind of more, I don't know, I call this kind of more the hero head. Like this is the standard head that came with the original version is like this sculpt of it, but now this is the glow in the dark version.
Right.
And then the white skull is what used to be the glow in the dark version on the original. So I like that inversion. Gives us some more options. I might even try out how the white skull looks on the OG one while you queue up your next thing.
Yeah, I'm going to get to this. Who's into? Well, you said you were into Power Rangers before, but you're not into collecting it. Were you a fan of In Space?
I think when I was a kid, I followed him all the way up to Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm was the last Power Rangers I watched.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm just getting back into everything now, and In Space is one of the better series, the last in the Zordon era.
Oh, yeah. I'm not all that up on the lore, just because again I watched it as a kid, so I don't think I really absorbed much of anything other than they're teenagers with attitude, and I'm like, that's what I want to be.
Now I talk about toys on the internet. Same
I love
thing.
it. What a trajectory! It's quite a startling domino effect from hey, these Power Ranger guys are really cool to talking toys on the internet.
How many episodes in now have you been doing the solo show?
Jeez, I don't even know. I don't think I've kept an episode count.
All right, let me see how many videos you have.
I want to say maybe 40. I don't know. Maybe less than that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna guess about 40 because I haven't been doing it for a full year, and it's not always weekly, so it's definitely not. It's somewhere between 40 and 52. Let's say I don't know. Definitely less than 52.
Okay, and was it just like how did you kind of get into this idea? Like, I want to do my own, because for people who know you from the ACBA podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys have
exactly
different sections each week on the different brands that you talk about. Were you just like, I need more time? I need more time to talk about what I like. I don't want to hear about, or like you don't want to hear about the other brands. I only want to talk Mezco. Let me do my own thing.
It was a little bit of that, yeah, for sure. Like enough people I think had reached out to me to say like, I wish the Mezco segment was longer, or I wish those guys would leave you alone because I want to hear more about Mezco. Like, we're all busting balls. Like I don't take it personally or anything, but
yeah, like when you're talking about it, I'll hear Rick be like, "Oh," he'll like sarcastically go, "Oh yeah, that's great."
Right. And then they start talking about like Dragon Ball and I can do the same thing to them. But it was born out of basically just the Mezco segment on there. Just people reaching out and telling me like they'd like basically more of it. And given, the kind donations and everyone there, we were already working on upgrading equipment.
Yeah.
And, why not get maximum use out of it and be able to use it for my own stuff as well. And I had already upgraded like kind of early to mid pandemic last year. Well, actually backing up even more to talk about what I do in real life a little bit. I was from like 2018 to like basically the pandemic, I was doing these like VR gaming events where like this company I was working with like had these like VR rigs, like the goggles, they had racing seats, they had motion wheels, they had like a full like VR driving sim setup. So they would take those to like multiple different like car garages, and we do like these big events where we would have like race car and like car culture people like come through and like take on pro gamers in like VR gaming competitions, you know, in driving simulations. And I was acting as like kind of commentator, like on camera host, like I was, and then we would actually like do the live events, and I was kind of like the event coordinator for it on top of like hosting the event and everything. So I was doing those.
I have some experience like that.
Exactly. I mean, I went to school for like TV and film production, and then I went into like improv and comedy writing. So you know, being in front of an audience is like, you know, already fun for me. Like it is how I get this part of my personality out, when the other part is like kind of shy introvert. But it is like, you know, I went to school for it, so I know how to host and everything. So anyway, I was doing these VR gaming events with this company, and then the pandemic hit, and we couldn't do the live events anymore. So we transitioned to doing like online streams, through Twitch and stuff, you know, basically like this. But we would have the rig in one place, and then the other rig was going to be coming over here. And with the first big stimmy, I was fortunate enough to be able to build a new computer and everything, and like upgrade all of my stuff, you know, with the intention of using it for this job. And then like as soon as I built the computer, it was like, hey, we're not doing this thing anymore. Sorry, you know, whatever. But I had already like upgraded all the equipment. And plus, when we brought the ACBA podcast back, I was in like in a good shape to, you know, add all that stuff to what I was doing. So again, just like as a way to get more out of it, and, you know, I guess kind of give people a more Mezco centric show, was kind of the inspiration for doing it. Just because I know there's people like me who, you know, maybe watch some of like the toy news shows like Toy News Eye or the Foosh Weekly or any of that stuff, and kind of skip to the specific segments that they want, because I don't collect this line, so I would just skip to the thing that I do collect. And like nobody's really talking about Mezco really to that capacity. So as a way for me to like talk to other people again in the chat, and having guests on or whatever, just talking to specifically more, you know, people of that mindset who are like locked into like solely Mezco, or like, you know, primarily Mezco, like I am.
That's cool, man. That's
yeah,
cool.
I'm really happy that people have responded like so well to it, because I'm sure just as you started this thing, it was just like, I'm just gonna do this thing, and like people respond to it, that's cool. So it is nice when people do like, you know, validate that a little bit, and I'm just glad that it's been a very supportive thing for sure. Great.
Yeah, I try to catch it when I can, and I think one of the things I always look out for when I'm watching other people do this, especially when people are like one-on-one, you and the chat, I'm just like, how does this person do with interacting, speaking, and kind of filling in the dead space, the silence, right? And I feel like you keep the pace going pretty well. I guess the schooling and that other gig that you had before helped with that a lot, because to me, when I see like you do that, or Wade sitting there one-on-one, or Jay Hernandez when he was sitting there one-on-one with the chat, I'd be like, these guys it's basically like them doing stand-up, you know. One person in front of the mic, and there's no shielding, there's nothing, it's just them. So yeah, I always kind of look out for stuff like that. So I feel like you do keep the pace moving pretty well. So
I appreciate that, dude. Thank you. That was my main concern, because even though I come from a like comedy writing background, I've never done stand-up. If I have, I've failed spectacularly at it. I'm really not like a stand-up guy necessarily, but I come from a you know, comedy writing background, so my brain always like the combination of that plus the schooling teaches me to like be kind of unafraid to fail. So yeah, I'll tell dumb jokes or like dumb stuff, but I don't care if it's dumb. Yeah. Like I'll sit in the L of it and just like fail along with it. And it's funny. It's ultimately self-deprecating, and I'm cool with that. So
and I think the ACBA podcast is a good training ground for you. Because if you were just bringing out the jokes there, like those guys will not let you hear the end of it. So
yeah,
you've kind of been trained hardened from that podcast. I'm trying to
And
figure out.
it used to be a little more like not adversarial, I want to say, but it was definitely like we all had to kind of get used to each other's sense of humor so that we don't, catch feelings about anything.
Yeah.
That's what's great about having such a long running show and like knowing these guys for so long is like we all get each other and it's all very comfortable. And ultimately, we're all just trying to make each other laugh and entertain each other on the show.
I haven't watched In Space in a long time. How does this? Someone in the chat, let me know.
I will say real quick, I swapped the white head from this new Doc Nocturnal onto the OG. That looks pretty sick. It's a little more like stylized.
Oh man, that
right?
Yeah, it's almost like almost an animated look.
Yeah, right. And I like how this head kind of fades to black on it.
Right.
Whereas, like the OG one was just like a straight like bone skull color all the way through.
Yeah, I have to admit I haven't appreciated that Doc Nocturnal enough. Uncanny Sculpts, Tyler helped me grab it.
Oh, nice.
And hook me up with it. So
local boy here, Tyler.
Yeah, exactly. So he helped me grab it. So I don't know if it comes across on screen, on camera for people who are into Power Rangers. Like this is a pretty nice kind of shiny. It's a very light silver. Is light silver a real thing? Light gray. It's a little bit metallic. Like it's a nice finish on this figure. If you can grab it, grab it. I mean, it's Zane, a great 6th Ranger. I don't know why they would make it an exclusive. I feel like
awesome.
you should have him, but if you can grab it, grab it. He's cool. The head sculpt is not there. I'm not going to beat around the bush.
He looks like Eleven's like scientist dad in Stranger Things.
Oh, that's a new one. Because when I posted it on my IG, people were just like one after another, be like, "Oh, I didn't know Jay Leno was a Power Ranger." Everyone would just change it with the different characters. So I did not see Eleven's scientist father. That's a good one. Dope. Definitely grab it as usual with Lightning Collection. Hands, different form of the weapon and effect down here. Yeah, and I'm actually going to take some photos, some actual ACBA style photography with this.
Oh, hell yeah.
And actually have ideas for it. Once every 2-3 months, I'll think of something and put the time in to do it.
I'm in the same boat. I either have enough room to like create a respectable background right here that's not totally cluttered, or take photos. I really wish I had like a more permanent setup, but I'm hopefully working on that pretty soon. It is because of doing the regular, live show every week, keeping this as is more a priority most of the time. And sometimes I don't want to be bothered to like set something up just to bring it down if I'm not like prepared to commit to like a full day or two of like sitting down and taking photos or whatever.
Yeah, because then you got to set up a photo and then you got to post it and then you got to tell your friends and then they're like, "Well, I hope you didn't take the setup down because this, and this is messed up." So, I have a live stream to do tonight, so yeah, it's it does require a lot of time and space.
That's why, and I see what you did there. Space.
In space, for sure.
Oh, okay.
MCU Collector says looks better than the Psycho Silver 2-pack. Psycho Silver. Who was in that? Did he have an unmasked head? I don't remember. He probably has it. He has everything. He has his own Power Rangers style head sculpt from his logo. Like that thing is so cool. I need to get one. Dude, are we meeting at DesignerCon? MCU Collector? I'm gonna grab one of those Power Ranger. One of those.
Wait, is DesignerCon back this year?
Yeah, dude, next month.
Oh, what? Okay, because DesignerCon was actually DesignerCon 2019 was like pretty much the actual maybe it was 2018. I don't even remember, but it was the last con I went to before the pandemic, and that was like the real impetus for me being like, oh yeah, Mezco's kind of like the next hot thing. Just from seeing, I talk about this on my channel, but like I remember specifically being in line for Mezco, like right at the doors opening. I was already like in early with a badge, and I was one of the first like few people in line. And even so, there was still a ton of people in front of me, but I was of the first wave, and it was all the other industry people running toy booths and running like all the independent artists and everything, and they're just like, yeah, Mezco's like, including Mr. Adam Van Wickler, who picked up the Pink Skull set that day, and that was, I think, when I really like got to know him. But
Was
he had
that when
picked
it
up the Pink
dropped?
Skull set that day, and he had the Pink Skull's figure like in his pocket the whole day. It was just, I've never seen that in person, like for real. Like I know people meme about it, but I'd never actually seen it.
Yeah, pocket fig.
Exactly. So
Wait,
that
his
was like,
shirt had a
man,
pocket?
industry people are this like, and people who, you know, are running kind of independent toy lines like Cursed Dead, it's another Adam thing, and
Yep.
and Mortal Ruin, like, you know, all these other toy brands that were kind of creating and exhibiting there at the show for the first time. We're all in the Mezco booth, just like, yeah, we're trying to figure out how to do soft goods on our figures. We like, you know, what they're doing. We're trying to like, it's hot. Like I could see like the hype for it. You know, you see it online and stuff, but I could feel it palpably there. And at that point, I was already in that transitional, like, okay, I'm not picking up new stuff from these brands to focus on Mezco before full on going, all right, I'm selling everything else.
That's cool, man. I've never been to actually that's not true. I've been to one convention outside of Canada, but like I've never been to DesignerCon. It is November 12th.
Oh wow, that's soon. Okay.
Yeah. So myself and a couple of the guys will be headed out west.
That's it's in Anaheim this year, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome.
What kind of stuff should I expect? What should I expect?
I think I had been to DesignerCon for the first time maybe 2017. I got to look through my pile of badges over there. But I basically skipped a year and then went the next year, and that was the year with Mezco, and it was a big deal that Mezco was there. But just to show you, like in that time, it had grown so much from going, I think it was in the Pasadena like exhibit hall, and then it went all the way to the Anaheim, like where they do WonderCon. So in that short time, they really blew up, and I was surprised more than anything by how much like fashion and like streetwear culture there was there. Like I showed up in like, you know, my regular like beater dunks on day one, and by day two, I was like, all right, I got to flex the Jordans on everybody because like I felt severely outclassed. So there was more than that than I expected, but more than anything, don't go expecting like too many, like, you know, it's not Frankenstein. It's not like a crazy, you know, action figure, and like, especially for the type that we collect. It's not really like that. It's more art toys. It's more vinyls. It's more prints and just art in general.
Yeah, I think I have that expectation going in. But, you know, apparel stuff is cool. You know, I've dabbled into apparel that ties in with toy collecting and stuff. So I'm interested to see all that stuff. And I've seen pictures. There's like Kevin Durant goes out there looking for, like he has, I don't know if he had a line or a figure involved in something or just going out collecting stuff. It just seems like
maybe he was looking for his uncut gem from Adam Sandler. That's the guy, right?
So I said Kevin Durant, didn't I?
You did, yeah. That was him, right? In the movie?
That was Kevin Garnett.
Oh, I'm terrible. Oh. See, this is okay. This is where
all good. Same first
name. Where genuine, like, I'm an idiot comes through, and then when it happens on the ACBA podcast or on something like this, it's like, oh yeah, I totally meant to do that. Come on. Like, who doesn't confuse Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton? Yeah, it's easier now that one's dead, but it's Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton.
Wait, I know one of them.
Bill Pullman.
One of them Independence Day?
Yeah.
The president. No.
Yeah. So like I genuinely, and this is terrible because I work in movies and I should know people's names a little bit better, but I confuse actors and like famous people all the time, and I don't mean to do it, and it's terrible, but I've done it like let's say like it's
like
been
in real life to their face.
I've done it to someone's face once, and it was the most horrifying moment of my life, dude.
That's awesome.
Can I tell you about it?
Yo, absolutely. It's not like me confusing Matt Damon and Ben Affleck at home. Like if you did that in somebody's face, that's I need to know.
Okay, all right. Well, it wasn't that bad. It was more okay. I was just telling the story a few days ago, so that's funny that we bring it up. But I was going to my school to Second City, and at that time, Lucha Underground. For wrestling fans out there, you know what that is, but it was a show that was airing on Spike TV that was filmed in LA. It was an independent, like, show. Like it was a lot of independent wrestlers signed to this promotion called Lucha Underground, and it was like an in-universe, like pre-taped wrestling show. It was kind of like a crime drama. There was like supernatural elements to it. It plays out more like a TV show, but the fight scenes and stuff happen in the ring, and you know, there's a corruption angle. It was crazy. One of the greatest wrestling programs of all time, probably my favorite to this day. At the time that they were taping all that, I was going to school at Second City, also in LA, and there was a show that played like once a month called Flying Chuck that was like basically my improv teachers at the time, and they added 2 pro wrestlers, and it was like their improv team was like 3 instructors and 2 pro wrestlers. One of them was currently Ryan Nemeth on AEW, and John Morrison, who is back in WWE, but at the time was with Lucha Underground as Johnny Mundo. All of that is to say, at my school, there was a wrestling show, right? These wrestlers are performing, and sometimes there'd be other wrestlers like in the crowd. And I'm at one of the shows, and I look to my left, and there's like a dude that looks super familiar, but I cannot place his face like at all. And I like know this about myself, and I'm like really trying to like figure out who this dude is before I approach him, right? And I thought at first, someone like pointed it out to me, and they're like, "Oh, is it that guy?" And I was like, "Oh, it's him." Someone kind of got in my head, and I couldn't unsee it, that it was Kevin Kline from the American Pie movies. He's like the jock dude in the group. I don't know if you've seen American Pie. I think you know Kevin Kline, but I thought it was him. And growing up, this is also a weird tangent, but growing up, when I was living in Texas, I believe, this dude was apparently our neighbor. Like my mom would talk about how the guy from American Pie, Kevin Kline, was our next door neighbor. So thinking it was that dude, I went up to him after the show, and I was like, "Oh man, if it's Kevin Kline, I'm gonna ask him if he like lived in this time. Like, oh, I was your next door neighbor. Like, I got my in. It's gonna be great, right?" I go up to him and I'm like, "Hey, it's Kevin, right?" He's like, "Chris, what's up?" Very strong handshake. He was not happy about me, like completely like misplacing him. It was not the dude at all.
I think so, because this is Kevin Kline.
Chris Kline. Maybe it's Chris Kline then. I think it's Chris Kline.
I'm like, this guy's not an American Pie.
No, okay, it's Chris Kline then.
Well, that's probably you said Kevin to him, right? Maybe that's you're confusing the name.
Maybe. I think maybe I did say Chris to him. I'm not entirely sure. If it's Chris Kline, then I was like, "Hey, it's Chris, right?" Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was that dude. Right. But it turns out this guy's name was actually, okay, so I'm confusing. I was like, "Hey, you're Chris, right?" And he's like, "No, it's Kevin. What's up?" And I think his name was actually Kevin Kiley, which is the real name of the wrestler Alex Riley. Look up Alex Riley. It's I like shook his hand and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then end of conversation. No follow up.
How you spell Riley? That's how you spell Ben Riley, right?
Yeah. I thought that was the dude. Yeah. Alex Riley.
He's also, see, Marcus E always comes with the I don't know anything about wrestling, so this could be anybody.
And this dude was in season 1 of Glow too. But yeah, that was him. And yes, Wrestling Hound, I met him and it was mortifying. I embarrassed myself completely. It was not the dude I thought it was. So it's
That's awesome.
Even though it's a running meme on my show and on the ACBA podcast, know that this happens to me like all the time. I'm fighting uphill every second.
Man, I put a poll in the chat for people to decide what should I open next, Finster or Mousels. It's currently 70% Finster. Is it going to catch up? We'll see briefly. What have you got next?
I'm probably gonna do my Mosquatch next. Even though I got a couple more little setup things on Doc Nocturnal here. One thing I was gonna bring up though, when the solicitation went up, what was cool about this new one is he has this harness with the dual holsters, which they also included on the cut and stitch soft goods set.
Oh, nice.
So it's nice that he comes with it too, but he also comes with 2 Glocks, which is a little anachronistic for Doc Nocturnal because he's supposed to be like this pulpy, like 1940s character. It doesn't really make sense for him to have police issue, modern day Glocks.
Right.
So this is where being an obsessive completionist comes in handy because I have 2 of the, I forget which, but one of the Baker's Dozen sets comes with a couple of little like revolvers that originally came with the Netflix Punisher. So I got 2 of those sets. I got 2 of these revolvers. I think I can.
Is that the next level from obsessive compulsive is obsessive completionist.
Yeah. I call it OCCD, obsessive compulsive completionist disorder. Sure. I'm self-diagnosed.
Man, Omar Vasquez says, I think he's saying Mouseles. What's up, Action Figgy Skinny? That's another fellow Canadian collector. He also got Zane. Did you vote for Finster? Oh, Finster's down to 67%. All right, I'm gonna give the poll a few more minutes. In that time, since you are a heavy Mezco collector, some of this stuff.
Oh yeah. So what did you think of MezcoCon?
You want to do a quick dope or nope between me and you about some of this stuff going on? Chat.
Yeah, I'm down.
If you're a channel member, or you just want to type in the chat dope or no while we go through this, we'll see real quick. That's why I kind of wanted to ask you on after this event happened, so we'd have all these kind of all these figures to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Where did I go?
And even though it was like a little light on the number of reveals, they still did pretty good job giving you like enough to chew on for the next at least until February, until Toys Fair.
Yeah. Yo, Trevor, what's going on?
Oh, 112 shooter is here.
Let's go top left. Two-Face and Batman.
Two-Face and Batman is dope. I mean, this plays into what I think a lot of people have wanted from Mezco for a while. And even though I feel like they've already made their definitive Batman with Sovereign Knight and Supreme Knight for a lot of people too, I think when that new Superman went up, the 2.0, the Man of Steel edition, I think that's going to be a lot of people's jumping on point for Mezco as far as like that is the last Superman you'll ever need, right? That is the flagship Superman right there. The Hush one had its time in the sun, pun intended, but I think it's time, people who are new to the brand, this is something that's going to bring them on for sure. And I think to go with that is people were saying, well, now we need a very like super ultra classic Batman with the trunks and everything. And I think they're giving it to us. I also think it's coming pretty soon. I think this will.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it'll be immediate like slugfest drop kind of thing, but I think they've got this in the can, ready to go. That's speculation, but just from seeing how finished they look on the photos, not prototypes like Doom or Power Rangers like we'll talk about, but these are physical in hand photos. So I think it's gonna be coming sooner than later.
I said I wouldn't buy any more Batman after Keaton comes out. But the loophole is that as long as they keep pushing back Keaton and releasing Batmans in between, that's fair game. So I'll probably buy this. It's dope. It looks amazing. Excuse me. I passed on the Two-Face single release because I wanted a more classic look, more traditional, like old school look. That one seemed very modern to me. That suit. It's
like the very like realistic scarring and everything. Yeah.
Is it weird to be like, oh, that suit doesn't look good? It's a toy, Kevin. Relax. But this is the perfect thing. You have a more old school looking Two-Face, comes with a Batman. So yeah, I'm probably going to be in for this one. I think if Mezco says like, hey, this is not a pre-order, it'll be out in a few months. That usually sells. I'll be like, yeah, okay, because I don't feel like dropping all that money and having it sit there. And
I think with all the stuff that's been delayed, like I think about it at least because I think this is the way they do it. Again, I speculated a lot on my channel. I'm an idiot just blasting my opinions out into the airwaves, right? But what I have kind of deduced, or what you can infer just from the shipping pattern, is that everything moves on a separate queue. All the license stuff is on one queue. All the Rumble Society stuff is on a different queue. That's why when there's licensing delays or shipping delays, or there's more approval needed from the licensor, there's more and more steps to get the licensed stuff out. Mezco's the only person they have to deal with for licensing for Mezco stuff and Rumble Society stuff, so they can just keep pushing it. So that's where I think a lot of people's misconception of like, oh, another Gomez, another Rumble Society, and I'm still waiting for Conan, I'm still waiting for 89 Batman. It's like, yeah, understandably, for sure, but the Rumble Society stuff coming out doesn't mean that it's further delaying any of the license stuff. It's two separate trains moving. One's moving super, super slow, and the other one is got a steadier pace because the conductor can approve directly. So with this, even though I think it's coming soon, and it seems like it's on the closer end of stuff to come out, I think because of licensing delays in general, or the delays with the licensed stuff, I think if we see it closer towards Christmas, maybe then Thanksgiving might be where this falls in.
Speaking of Conan, 1/6 shooter asked, "Did you get one?"
I have mine coming. My plug has got me here locally. I just have not gotten it yet. I think I should be meeting up with him like later this week or next week or something. Yeah, that's the other thing with Conan is the word in the buzz around the community. I believe it was, I forget who was talking about it. It might have been Bill saying it in the Discord, but there was a bunch of wholesalers that got their orders like halved. So if they ordered 2 cases, they got 1, 4, they got 2, whatever.
Oh, wow.
So I think the quantities overall of Conan are less than initially projected, and I think the word is because there was like a big chunk of the shipment that got like damaged or lost or something during like all this crazy COVID shipment delay. So don't sleep on that Conan. If you've already like been sleeping on it, like wake up. It's time to get it for sure.
I did sleep, and I'm choosing to. It's too much stuff in here, and I have to be very selective. As good as that figure looks, as much praise as it's been getting from people in the community, especially Trevor's saying figure of the year, it's like it looks so good, but I have no connection to it. I don't need it. But I swear, if I see it in a store, I'll probably buy it because
that's a perfect like I have no connection to it, but it's a dope figure type of pickup. Like there's a lot of, I mean, everything Rumble Society falls under that category for sure. But
Rick Jones says, how much should I expect to pay for a Conan?
Oh God, I don't know what he's going for right now. I mean, don't go on eBay. There's sold listings for like 600. Like it's stupid. Definitely not that. I mean, right now you'd be lucky to get it for under 200 for sure. Even peer to peer, like direct in the groups or on Reddit or whatever. It's I would say don't let impatience get the best of you. Like wait a little bit for prices to kind of even out. The more people start getting it, the more that are out there, and then prices start coming down overall. That's not one you're gonna need to rush. That's why I'm glad I got mine locked down locally here.
All right, the poll is at 55 to 45, 55% for Finster. I mean, it's not like I'm only opening one, so I'll just open Finster first. That's what it is. I can admit now.
The people have spoken.
How do I stop this? Whatever. I'll figure it out.
That he comes with.
So Finster will be next. Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. Conan. Yeah, I don't think I'm. Yeah, if I see it and it's like somewhat close to retail, I'll probably pick it up.
How much was it retail? I don't even remember. It was like 110 or something.
I'm more interested to get that Casino Cucaracha.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a great one. I'm very excited for that. Do you like how much Gomez do you like mess with?
I got as much as I could. The only one I sold was Lone Roach because I had opened. I think I opened it once and I didn't really do anything with it. And at the time, the Sentinel, HasLab Sentinel was closing, and I'm like, I gotta make space. So let me find what I can sell. And then I ended up. It was that one sold, and I was able to get a Sentinel like just off of that sale.
Wow, yeah, that was that remains another one of those DesignerCon exclusives, along with Pink Skull's Chaos Club. That's like
Lone Roach was a Designers Con.
Yeah.
How the hell did I get it?
I mean, it was a Mezco exclusive, but they had it for sale at DesignerCon.
Okay, like it was online too.
Yeah, it was online. Same with Pink Skulls. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But it was the fall exclusive to coincide with DesignerCon.
Yeah, and
Decon, for those of us in the industry.
Okay, sorry.
Decon, we don't got time for all those words.
For the uninitiated.
Yeah,
I was going through this phase where like it's just sitting there. It's somebody else can get it. I'm not enjoying it as much as I can. So
it is very niche. Like
no regrets yet. Still no regrets. But the Gomez stuff I think is really cool. I really like Mezco for what I think is like they've built up the 112 collective brand. with all the figures they've been putting out, and they're like, I think we're at a point where we can just put out whatever, and they love the company. And then it's like, here's all my original IP, and it's been killing it.
Yeah.
And what does
I'm
that
just
cost
like,
extra? Nothing.
and I'm just like the lowly masses at the bottom of a Mortan Joe's like waterfall. It's just like, yes, please, just fill my cup with any tiny little trickle.
But it's still good stuff though. That's the thing. And like, you get good weapons, good accessories, cool designs, and good soft goods. So it's not like they're just throwing you garbage. It's just, what I respect is that they've built their company and their image up enough that it's just like the eyes are on there. They've positioned themselves where they can put out something like that and have it hit and be so popular. So I really respect that aspect of that game plan. To the point where I'm like, yeah, let's go Casino Cucaracha. It's a roach it's a James Bond roach. So
on top of all the other options of it not being a roach necessarily, And that, that's ultimately what's also cool about them, is that if you're not into like the lore, or what little lore there is, it's kind of up to you to kind of expand on and portray however you want in photos and all that. But I think it's cool to just have new IP, because as attached as I am to the stuff that I grew up with, there's still room in my heart for like new things that I can like just because I think they look cool, even if I have no like prior attachment to them. I'm a very visually driven person, so if something appeals to me visually, that's like 90% of the battle right there, and everything else kind of follows that. So that's one thing I agree. I think something that they've done really well is to build up both their in-house IP brand, but also the Mezco stock in general, as far as public perception of the brand, where even people who maybe feel like intimidated by it, or like who have been exclusively retail collectors for however long and are kind of looking at it, maybe it's intimidating because it's expensive, but they built up a reputation where even off your first one, you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And that box set, I keep going back to it, but it's that 5 POA Pink Skull set that's in there.
Yeah,
I'm getting more into 5 POA stuff now, just for the aesthetic. It looks cool, so I'm really excited. That comes with a diorama too, I think. So
yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was looking at they just put up the Tower of Fear set for the Mezco Monster 5-point set yesterday. And that's something I think they've also been doing really well, that I kind of wish they wouldn't, because I really want them now. The Superman, like the Max Fleischer Superman set with the robot and the Lois Lane, that's sick. The Popeye set is so sick. Like all of these 5-point sets that they've been doing, even though like the only 5 points that I have are like the free ones that I've gotten in bundles, it's got me thinking, man, I kind of want like a 5 points display, because they give you
they look good,
dios, and like you just have there's nothing more appealing to me like discovering a new line or something, even if it's something I wouldn't necessarily touch. But if there's like a really good like entry point that gets you a complete display right off the bat, I'm in. Like, for example, like if I were like shopping at retail and I see like a full wave of something hit, and the accessory and like the play set, I think what I'm thinking of specifically is when I think it was Funko did, even though I'm not a He-Man guy necessarily, just the idea of it I thought was really cool. I think Funko was doing like the Savage World sets, where they did like DC. I don't know if it was Funko, in fact, but someone did DC, but it was like Batman and Superman, but they were like all He-Man and barbarianized and stuff. And then there was like a full-on Batcave to go with it, like Castle Grayskull style. It was like a full thing. And I remember walking to Target one time just being like, oh, they have all of them, plus the playset, plus like the vehicle for Batman. Like I would, if I were in a position, this is exactly what I would love to get out of discovering a new line right off the bat. It's just like, here's all of it, and you can have a complete display off like 1 or 2 purchases right here. And that like really makes it feel very complete and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what the 5-point set does for me. Is like, oh, with 1 purchase, I have a complete like display, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I got an extra 5 points Gomez, I think, from 80s Baby, and I opened it up. It's like he's got accessories too and everything. It looks cool. So they look cool on card. It's that something about that 5 POA aesthetic, man. Like they have nice card art to draw you in. Not like, is it to make up for like a smaller figure or like less articulation? I don't know what it is. Like Super 7 stuff does it with all their reaction Power Rangers. They have beautiful card art and all those things. And it's like, man, even once you open it, I have them on my shelf. They look cool together. So I'm interested to. I'm looking forward to getting the Pink Skulls in that wave, in that set. Here's the putty suitcase.
Yeah, that's really sick. I was just looking.
Does
that gray one on the left not come out?
No, it's part of the case, which is fine. But like,
no, that's fine. I was just curious.
They fit perfectly in here. It's so nice. There's no detail. Well, sorry, there's no paint on the outside. You can paint that up yourself. The sculpt is there. Does Finster's mouth move? He does. It's so nice.
That's dope.
It's so nice.
Damn, that apron is crazy. You can store all the stuff in the apron, right?
There's a couple of hooks here for, this rolling pin that you would get in all your Play-Doh sets. This rolling pin, this sculptor's knife, I guess. And then they would go in here. This is an amazing figure. Go get it on. I think Winger Lose told me it's back in stock on Amazon.com, Amazon.ca. Your SOL. Damn Power Rangers figure of the year, possibly. Like to make this an exclusive. I know he's not like an A-list character. He's Rita's crew. Doesn't need to be a main figure, but man, it's. Go get it. Go get it. It's going to be cool. It'll look awesome next to Rita. Here we go.
While you're showing that, I'll be right back. I need to grab one thing.
We have Rob Olive in the house says, "Sup, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are having one of the most ridiculously amazing nights you have ever had." Rob, always a pleasure to have you here. What a nice comment.
Overwhelming positivity.
Right? I need to see that message like first thing in the morning. Help me get out of bed.
That sounds like the WhatsApp messages my family overseas sends.
Austin says, "Hope they finally give us a carded Rita Repulsa tomorrow, like a single release." Hopefully. I'm going Super 7 for Rita Repulsa. That thing looks incredible.
Dude, I don't know how deep Mezco is gonna go, but I'm already eyeing the Super 7 stuff to like complement the Mezcos.
Yeah.
Especially if they're doing. I mean, they partnered with CJ for their soft goods for a while now, so that stuff's gonna be great.
Because it's 4 Horsemen stuff. Let me see. I'm gonna switch it over to you.
Yeah, this was another accessory with the Red Death Doc Nocturnal. I was really excited to get.
That's cool.
It's a plague mask, right? But I wanted specifically. I wonder if this will work. Maybe I'll have to switch the heads. Let's see. I wanted to see if I could maybe put on this gas mask. I don't want to fit it over Joker though, just to like not scratch his head. So
I thought I got a little bit of paint rub from Joker on one of his hats.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but this is the skull head from Red Death Doc Nocturnal. The people have been putting like the green one from the regular, basically like this on the Joker.
Skeleton with a jacket. Because he's worried about catching a chill.
He's spooky, scary. You never know.
And he's also responsible,
right? But this though,
nice.
Yeah, this is sick. I almost wish it had green lenses, but you get the idea.
Yeah, man, that looks good.
Yeah, this was definitely another great reason to get this dude. As far as like a new thing, that complements literally everything I have already.
It's like a reissue, but there's enough new stuff to make it interesting for somebody who has the first one.
Right.
And as I say that, I'm slightly regretting not getting it, but I'll live. Matt August Photo Inc. says, "I don't Power Rangers, but I'd buy that." I'm assuming Finster says, "Dope. Enabled. Butter."
Yeah, it's tough when it's one of those like super exclusive variant type of situations, because it doesn't necessarily feel like it's acting as like a second chance for people who missed the first one. It's more
Mhm.
like, remember how hard the first one was to get? Let's do
Yeah,
it
for
again.
sure. There you
Let's
go.
do it again.
All right, back to this. Is that the, I forget what those dolls are called.
Yeah, that's one of the Mezco Designer Series Roto Plush.
Right.
Yeah, I don't mess with any of those, but the soft goods and all that stuff is usually incredible if you've ever seen them in person.
That's a nope from me. It's for somebody out there, but not me.
Yeah,
So
it's for somebody's goth girlfriend. not mine. She's not goth enough.
Godzilla.
Another, yeah, speaking of the 5-point stuff, another, even though I don't really touch Godzilla, like I think what they've done with these 5-point sets is really cool as well. And the Ultraman set as well. So I think this is supposed to be like the 5XL or something like that. I don't remember.
Is that
I think the regular 5-point stuff is 3 3/4 inch, and these are 5-inch. So they're slightly bigger, but not necessarily to scale, with other 5-point stuff.
Marcus
Either way,
says this is making me consider keeping the Joker. The Joker is fantastic, man. You were thinking about selling it?
This one, yeah, Gotham by Gaslight Joker is really
beautiful. And all those working tools and accessories, I think it's.
Oh my god, yeah. I guess I should have shown that off because you're showing off your Finster briefcase, but
we're both
right?
cutting people. Yours is much more nicely painted, more detailed.
Yeah, it even has it on the outside. But I mean that obviously.
No, it's a great set. Should I be kicking myself for not grabbing Conan, Mezco Conan? You know what? I'm slightly kicking myself. Let's kick each other, all right? Just to make it easier.
You haven't fully missed out on it yet. If you're kicking yourself, put that energy towards getting it. Don't just wallow. Because even though, like I said, it's gonna be hard to get for sure, but not as hard as it'll be, in a year from now or whatever.
Mezco, we knew they had Power Rangers. Then all of a sudden they reveal this 5-pack.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was in your stream for a little bit when you were talking about that reveal. And this is your entry. This is your entry into Power Rangers collecting.
Pretty much, unless that Green Ranger comes first.
Right.
But yeah, pretty much in the modern day, yeah.
These are like highly digitally rendered in this photo.
Oh yeah, this is a mock-up. This is what the idea of Mezco Power Rangers looks like, not what they'll actually look like.
We want our Power Rangers to look like Power Rangers, and we'll put that photo out.
Yeah, definitely. Still work in progress. They addressed it on Twitter and stuff, so
yeah,
we'll see what it actually looks like. Once we actually see the Green Ranger or whatever comes first, once we start seeing that in hand, that I think will give people more confidence to spend what I'm sure will be like $500 on this thing. They confirmed it is a set, and I got to catch a little bit of smoke for this because when we talked about the reveal and at a Toys Fair, when I talked about the reveal of them having the license and showing off the Green Ranger, I'm like, well, if they do the rest of the team, I don't want to be like chasing 5 individual Mezco releases over like 3 or 4 years. If they get to us 1 per quarter or whatever, it's still a year and a half. I don't just get them all in one go. And boom, they're doing them all in one go. And I'm like, ooh, it's going to be expensive.
Like, I don't want to make Fabio angry.
You know what? I'll catch the smoke for it. I brought it on myself. I got to eat my words a little bit, which is fine.
Rentu says this 5-pack is too much. Would have been nice if it was spread out. So he would have preferred getting them. He says in 2 packs. 2 packs. I don't know. Sometimes it's like you want to complete the team. Everyone gets
I would much rather have them in one go, even though it is going to be expensive.
See, it's the danger of collecting Power Rangers. The same way there's the danger of collecting Ninja Turtles. Like you're locked in for 4 all the time. Power Rangers are locked into between 5 to 7 for MMPR. If you factor in Tommy, I know some people don't like Tommy. Some of those people in this chat tonight. And so you at least 5. So it's tough, man. And then you have Lightning Collection, you have Super 7, you have this. It's like you don't have to buy all of them, but there are all those options there. So
and that's what kind of led me to be such a focused collector, is because there are so many companies doing like incredible stuff that it's so easy to spread yourself thin. Like it's again, it's also partially because of my own like OCD completionism, where I'm just like, I don't want to mix lines either. I don't want to have a Red Ranger from Hasbro and a Green Ranger from Super 7, together on the same shelf. Scale and all that other stuff aside, just the aesthetics of it, just everything about it would be mentally disruptive to me, So that's why in figuring out like which brand of which line, which license, which company is doing this license the best, or that in the format that works the best for you, I think that's a really like important thing for collectors to figure out, again, in a world where there's just so many options these days, dude, more than ever, which is insane. Like, when Bad Guy was doing Power Rangers, they were the only ones doing Power Ranger. Now it's Hasbro, now it's Super 7, now it's Mezco. It's a lot. It's 3-0.
Yeah, and it's beautiful is what it is. How deep do you think Mezco will go in Power Rangers, though? Just MMPR? You think they're going to go deep with villains in MMPR? You think they're going to hit up other seasons?
I wouldn't be surprised if we live in MMPR for like a long time. If we, I mean, I feel like Mezco is going off of, not necessarily the Power Rangers universe, but rather that core mainstream appeal, looking for the collector who's looking for their like one and done MMPR team, and that's enough of a display for them, whether, green or white Ranger notwithstanding, or added on or whatever. I think that's more than anything what they want to live in. I don't think they'll particularly go deep on it. I would be very surprised if we get any monsters. I'd see Rita. I would call that they would do a Rita. I don't know that they would go full on, like, I mean, it'd be crazy, but they could do a Zed. But you also got to think about like what works best for their format too. Like Zed, there's really no soft goods to really speak of on there. Not that all their figures have soft goods, like Iron Man and Conan is basically naked, right?
Rita's look definitely fits the Mezco brand.
Exactly. That's why I think Rita's a lot more likely. She's just one of their female underbodies, and then the soft goods and the accessories. So that could definitely be doable. Power Rangers, it's just 2 bodies, spread across 5 characters. So I think it makes sense that they basically just give us the core team, and I would be very surprised if they do anything other than Rita.
Shout outs to Lady Van Death, Adam Van Deathstrike is in the chat. What's going on, Adam?
He wants to go all the way deep, I see.
Rolling in the deep, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Lord Zed with a silicone body. Let's figure it out first with
that's a good. I mean, Marcus E, another regular from my chat as well. But yeah, Marcus, that's a great call, and I think it'll depend on how first 89 Batman and then 79 Alien come out, because I think what's obviously that was brand new, uncharted waters for them, the seamless bodies and all that. So once they figure that out, it makes sense for them to like try to get their money's worth out of it, out of the investment, out of the research and all that stuff, to try to like implement that into as many characters as possible. So you might have me there. They might do a Lord Zed on the seamless body, and I would be in for that for sure. That'd be crazy. Does he have a light up visor in the show? Could they do a light up visor on him?
Did he have a visor? I don't think he had a visor.
Or like whatever his like eye setup looks like.
I think his eyes sometimes glow. I don't think he had a visor.
All right, I'm just thinking like, if there were a way to add light up features to it to inflate the cost, maybe that they will. But
all right, we're going
that's a good call. I mean, I could definitely see them doing now that you've mentioned it. Yeah, that would be sick. I might have just convinced myself that I want that. That's how it works, dude.
Self-enabled.
It is. I do it all the time, dude.
What about you spoke about this Tower of Fear playset?
Yeah, so that just went up for pre-order yesterday. It's cool. I don't know. I think it was like $95. It's definitely worth it. It's an 18-inch tall set, which is crazy for a 3 3/4-inch scale figure line. So it's you're not getting a lack of things with it, with all the accessories and interchangeable parts and like interactive features with it. It's just like, do I have space for that? Like, I don't know. It's hard enough just the single carded ones that I have. It is dope though. I do like it. I think it's very dope.
Adam says, I want to go deep on Conan. Sure.
Yeah, that would be really sick, dude. I would love that a lot, especially because they could reuse King Kong again to do whatever he's called, like Man Ape is from Marvel. I think he's called the Ape Man or something. The dude, he's in some of the Frazetta artwork, and he's just like a half ape, half man. He wears like a red cloak. It's easy. They even featured King Kong kind of digitally hit bashed in some of the Conan promo images. So if that's like a hint of things to come, kind of like they do in some of the other promos for other characters and other licenses, then proof of concept. Like if people go like, hey, yeah, I'd be down to see the ape-man guy on the King Kong body. Throw some soft goods on it.
The box art on that Conan is beautiful.
Yeah,
another addition to getting your money's worth. Yeah, I kind of regret not getting it. It's okay.
The chainmail skirt on that thing is nuts. I wish I had it. I'm sorry for anyone who thought I'd be unboxing Mezco stuff and Conan would be among them. I do not have it yet, but from what I've seen, yeah, it's already top contender for figure of the year. Definitely like top of Mezco for the year, but it's already making a lot of other lists as well.
Nice. MCU Collector says Goldar was able to see down to Earth through his visor, so it kind of lit up.
Okay, all right.
I gotta pay attention. I'm currently in a rewatch with my daughter, but
oh yeah,
when she's watching, my son who's younger, he gets scared of Lord Zed. Like one day randomly out of nowhere, he started hiding, so he's just like, I want to watch Paw Patrol, and then we're like, fine, just watch Paw Patrol. So it's the Power Rangers rewatch is on hiatus right now. Finally, this Dr. Doom. I know, chat, let me know. Fabio, dope or nope?
Heavy breathing. That is all. It's been a very long time coming. Like, I remember being at San Diego Comic-Con when Pierre was still working for Mezco, who was, at that time in the early days of 112 Collective. I think he was one of the product designers, and he would just be at the shows. And he wasn't like a media guy, but he would just be the person who's like, oh, you're looking for an interview? Yeah, sure, I'll help you out. So back then, my first or second Comic-Con, even maybe third, like early, like fledgling days of the line, I remember asking him, like, or not even asking him, just because I really don't like, hey, are you guys doing this character? Are you doing that character? I don't like that type of question. I was more suggesting, like, who would be really great for your format would be Dr. Doom. I mean, the metal, armored suit underbody plus the soft goods on top, it's a no-brainer. And at that time, I want to say it was like 2017 or something. They were just like, no, we can't touch Fantastic Four. Like, we'd love to do it, but we cannot touch it. And it was at that time when, they were still fighting. Disney was still kind of fighting Fox for the rights for Fantastic Four and all that. So in Marvel Comics, the Fantastic Four just took like a weird hiatus, and all their related characters just were, there was a mandate, so to speak, to like really not use them in media, kind of drive down the value of the Fantastic Four as a brand at that time. Ruthless negotiating tactics. And at that time, yeah, that was when I asked, and they couldn't do it. So here we are, like 4 years later or whatever, and it's coming. It's great. It's awesome. It's who else is going to give you this format better?
It seemed like Legends, one of the most recent ones, they did fabric on like a part of his figure.
Oh yeah.
It was like a chest piece, or maybe like, I don't know.
It was like a collar. It was like a ring collar, almost like what Toad has or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was that. But honestly, I've looked at that and been like, I kind of want that, so that when Mezco does their soft goods Dr. Doom, I can like just put that collar piece on it, because that's like think it's meant to denote his like first appearance before he had like the clasp and cape and everything. It was
Okay.
just that kind of like, collar piece or whatever. So
Yeah, but I mean,
something else is another option, plus whatever accessories that Doom comes with.
CJ has had a pretty solid Doom setup on his website for a while.
Oh yeah, I believe he also worked on this Doom. I could be conflating two things, but I'm friends with Cornboy from Four Horsemen on Facebook, and he shared that Four Horsemen worked on this Doctor Doom, which is great because Cornboy is a massive. We talked about the Fantastic Four on my channel when it went up for pre-order, and he is a massive, massive mark for Fantastic Four and Doom. So the fact that he was able to work on it for Mezco, he was on my channel talking about how much he loves it and how much he loves the Mezco stuff, like not knowing that he had already worked on it. So great poker face for him, first of all. But the fact that he got to work on it is definitely like a good passion project. And I think by extension of Four Horsemen working on Doom, CJ did the soft goods for this. So he pitched the idea of a soft goods Doom years ago when we were buying stuff on his website.
I'll ask CJ next time. I don't know if it's confirmed, but that would be cool. I mean, yeah, he's been doing it for a while. That would be the person to get to do it, if that were the case. But yeah, some pretty cool stuff. I don't know, nothing other than Batman. My wallet is kind of safe on all this stuff.
Not even Doom?
I don't know. We'll see more, right? Power Rangers obviously is a little bit further out. Doom, that doesn't look like a render.
What would it take? What would this Power Ranger set need to come with for you to like not necessarily let go of your Lightning collection, but enough for you to make you think, twice about your Lightning collection?
What would he need to come with?
As a admittedly casual, just from having grown up with it fan, not really having like rediscovered it in adulthood, just as a pure nostalgia standpoint, the stuff I'm thinking of is like, stuff that I guess Lightning Collection has done to some extent. Like for the price, I feel like they would have to have the multiple heads for the different people playing the same color Rangers. So you'd need, the two different red Rangers and the two different pinks and the two different yellows. So that would be cool if they gave you those heads. But also, I think the flagship feature to really like make you feel like you get your value's worth. What if their weapons actually combine?
Yeah, I think that's a minimum. At the very least, those main weapons have to combine.
Okay.
Knowing Mezco, how they do weapons,
regular weapons, and then one set of combined weapons. The same weapons can combine or be separate, I think would be the way to like really make that like premium it up, Yeah.
I think how well Mezco does functional and movable weapons, I could see them making their blade blasters being able to go into all three forms. Like the actual, because Joker has the tongs or whatever those tools are.
Yeah.
That move. They have guns with you put the mags in or the clips or whatever. So I feel like they would take it to that step to put it into the Power Rangers, into those blade blasters. The regular weapons, I'm assuming the Black Ranger's axe will have that shotgun action to it. That Mezco would include that too. Yeah. What is it going to take? It's going to be price, because I'll know it's going to look like it's fabric, which means it's going to look like it's off the screen, TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt that their head sculpts, the helmet sculpts will look good. Human face, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but that's not a deal breaker for me, because it's like I don't often display my Power Rangers with unmasked anyway. So the civilian head is like, it's not a deal breaker.
Okay.
I think for a 5-pack, it's got to be, for something like that, it's the price.
What's your deal breaker price?
What is it, 5? If it's 5, what's an average licensed figure? 85, 90, I think?
Yeah, 95 sometimes, Depends, if it's a standard or deluxe edition.
It's gonna be something stupid that's gonna get me. Like I said, I didn't need that Mezco Wolverine. I'm like, yeah, it's another Wolverine. Who cares? Then they're like, here's a Sentinel base. Here's some slash effects. Here's all that. I go, sold.
Here's
Done.
9 heads.
Yeah, not exactly. I'm like, how can I turn this down? This is incredible. It went from like an okay figure to like an amazing set, and then the morning of it changed my mind. So it's gonna be something stupid like that. It'll be like comes with command center computer base that lights up all around and be like,
Oh my
okay,
God,
cool,
yeah.
you got me. Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, right.
Something
What
like that.
I mean, if I think the more recent direct comparison is the Fantastic Four set, which was 420, but it also, like, if you average that out to 105 per figure, it still makes sense. But then they also throw in the Herbie in there. So if you want to say that the Herbie is 20 and each figure is 100, then if maybe they throw in an Alpha 5 with Power Rangers, and it's a $520 set, 100 each for the figures and then 20 for the Alpha 5. I don't know that they'll. I think that's on the high end, and I talked about this on my channel too. Is I feel like the value, or like the perceived value for multi-packs, is that it's supposed to mentally bring down the overall cost of each figure to get them all at once, right?
Yep.
So, I don't want to. What was like one of the latest ones that came out? I think I got to go through their website, but 105 for like a standard release, or sorry, like 95 for a standard release individual figure. I feel like putting them in a pack together should bring the price down to like 85 each, maybe 80,
Yeah.
depending on what it comes with, like I said.
Yeah, usually when you clump them together as a box set, you kind of expect some sort of minor price break. We'll see.
Right, because Pink Skulls, for example, 3-pack, 75 each. It was 225. That's super fair, which is absurd for what it's going for right now. It's
right. That's a whole different thing.
Right. Nobody could have seen that coming. I don't think anybody at that time thought Pink Skulls were going to blow up like that.
Omar Vasquez says 3-0 is giving you bang for your buck. It's 1/6 scale Power Rangers for, was it 400 for 3-0?
I think it was 550 for 6.
I think Chamba has them. Chamba, if you're still here.
Yeah, I think they were 550 for the set of 6 with the Green Ranger. So that's great for sure. But the value you're getting of that in the price of it for what you get, you're losing in real estate because it's twice as big as your 6-inch scale collection.
Well, if you're a 1/6 collector, that.
Oh yeah. But I'm talking about people who want to. I don't know how. I guess it is fair, but I don't know how fair it is to directly compare the 6 scale 6-figure set price versus the 1/12 scale 5-figure set price that we'll get from Mezco.
True.
I just don't know. It's kind of apples to oranges, but it is also, like, it does make sense because it is a Power Rangers multi-pack. But I don't know. There's some concession I'm not making there in my head that like makes it make sense.
It's all our speculation until we see more.
Exactly. I'm just talking wish list. Like, I know my deal breaker, like, ceiling price, I would like it to be less than 500. Like, in all honesty, like, it would. I don't think anybody would complain if it was like 495. Okay, that's fair.
Thomas Rock coming in with the Price is Right bid of 495.
Okay, there you go. I think my Price is Right bid, closest without going over, is 475. Thinking maybe there's a $20 wiggle room in there, but just in case. But if he's gonna say 495, I'll say 496. Real Price is Right rules.
Boo. Okay, so I don't know if people have seen this yet. I think this is part of the initiative to cut down on plastic use in packaging, because I've started to see this this was moving around in the package window, but these are accessories wrapped in some sort of like tissue paper or wax paper.
What?
So
you're giving me the Mezco treatment over there.
So this is the cardboard tray. There's these ties, and then that's it. Like the plastic, these are the accessories inside. Here's Meowscles' weapon. I can just rip it like this. Looks like a ball of yarn that goes on his backpack with some mouse-themed grenades. Another weight. think this is for the like so all the accessories are inside paper wrapping. Just I guess it's kind of interesting.
Wild. Well, you know, it's Fortnite. They gotta appeal to these woke kids who care about the environment.
Is that who it's for?
What's that?
Is that like, is there a lot of crossover there?
I don't know. It's just mostly the what are they called? The Zoomers, the Gen Zers, the current kids. The joke is that they're a lot more woke than we were at that age. Just by nature of having grown up on woke social media.
As everyone knows, I need instructions. How does this thing work? Oh, I think I got it.
You ever seen a?
Clearly, I've never been to a gym.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you ever done squats, bro?
This isn't a squat rack.
I guess not. I mean, anything a squat rack. It's just a rack.
This is where you go to lay down and check your IG notifications, right?
Yeah. He's gonna need a spotter for that too. It's a lot of weight.
Do you think Mezco? Think we get a Mezco White Ranger or Lord Draken?
I think so. I'd say if they're gonna go deep, quote unquote, that's the kind of direction they'll go. You know, Ranger Slayer. I think they'll keep it that MMPR and MMPR offshoots.
This is awesome.
My God, that's awesome. I love that.
It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah, dude. I love how it's like bending already under the weight. Like that's.
Yeah, this is not the recommended number of plates. Or
and he just left him on there. You're supposed to re-rack that when you're done, dude.
Who's gonna say anything to him?
Who's gonna come up to Meowscles and tell him, "Sir, you left your plates on the bench.
You did not wipe down your." There's like a little cloth here too.
That's so cool.
I think I have this the wrong way. All right, we'll figure it out. Yes, definitely have not ever been to the gym.
I just opened Moss Squatch too. He is.
Oh, Orange Julian 27. What's going on?
Fierce, dude. I love how he feels, and this was like, I think the term I came up with where people were like, "Hey, why does it need to be flocked? It's a soft goods line, you know." It's like, well, it just enhances the textural experience of it. As I'm touching it, I'm just like, ooh, this feels nice. Like it's cool. It does feel really cool. I don't think it's really coming off very much either. I mean, it definitely is, but it's really not that bad.
Only a little bit with mine, and then it seemed to be okay after.
Yeah, once you get that first layer off, you know, everything underneath tends to stick pretty well. But yeah, he's cool. He's got some chonk to him for sure. I mean, it is King Kong, but the feet and the hands are like bigger, you know, than King Kong's just by their design.
I do not have the Jazzwares Meowscles. I think I missed it on Amazon Canada. It's like the only place that had it. A lot of retail stores didn't have it here. I have Kit. It's the little cat that comes on with that little mech thing that he rides on. I do have that. But this is awesome. This is an awesome prop. Again, I think I still take toy photography, which I don't.
Yeah, I always do that. Like I'll buy this with the intention of like, oh, I'll use this for photos, and then just never take the photos.
It'll be like the most intricate photo in my head of characters that I don't have, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it for that reason.
Or I'll build this complete headcanon around it that like only manifests in your head. Like maybe you'll stand the two figures next to each other, and that's like the most that you'll get out of it. Like I kind of did that with this actually. I did the little kit bash for October. I don't think I ever posted this photo, but I did something with this dude. It's kind of popular kit bash in the Mezco communities. The gold skull ninja with the gold Commander Gomez, and you kind of get like a nice match with the gold on the belt and on his head, and then with the knife and stuff. And then you slap a trench coat on him, and you have like an evil gold skull commander.
I like that with the knife too.
Yeah, right. So like this is the White Skull Agent trench coat, so you know there's that thing to it. But I'm gonna turn him back into a regular old Gomez now, I guess.
Did I put this together wrong? No, this is correct. This is right. The bench.
I dropped something.
How does this scale with other 1/12 scale lines? Here. Let's put Zane on here. He is a Power Ranger. He should have some sort of super strength, enhanced strength. Well, he's from whatever planet it was.
This is the wrong Gomez head, but this is from the regular Commander, but we'll do it.
Make sure your elbows are bent at 90 degrees, nice and wide. Hold on, let's see.
That works. I think that works. Oh, that looks great.
Yeah, that works. His feet, I think you can make his feet go flat on the ground if I just move that knee joint down.
Yeah, just need some TLC to like make it work, but it'll work.
Oh, you can put the weights on the lower.
Oh, that's okay. That's actually dope.
There you go. Are you okay with it's just are you comfortable with a gold bench press and weight set?
There's got to be another set coming out, you know.
All right, so they're saying
the
towel. They're saying, who's this? Dragon Eye says the towel goes on the other end. That's what I thought too, because I'm assuming that was like your back of head towel. But I know box art can be wrong, but A, it has it here, and B, there are Let me see. See, these connectors at the bottom, they don't fit on the other end. Like it's a whole different connector. If I wanted to switch it around, this doesn't go in there. Like they don't line up.
No, yeah, they're keyed.
So this is for whether it should be there or not, the towel. Regardless, that's where it is. That's how this bench goes together. And I know this is not as confusing as MODOK, but can I move this? I don't think I can move this. No, there's a hole in the middle for this to kind of clip in, so it's not like you can slide this towel up to the top. All right. I know how a bench thing works. A weight bed?
It's a recliner with weights.
They are collecting ball sweat. Orange Julian says, any Canadians here checking out Fan Expo this weekend? Yes. It happens to also be the Fan Expo event here in Toronto the same weekend as Hasbro PulseCon. It's a smaller version of the regular Fan Expo, which is basically the largest kind of convention here in Toronto for this kind of stuff, Comic-Con kind of thing. Kind of like how SDCC is doing their what's that smaller version they're doing in November?
I think it's still called SDCC, but yeah, it's weird that it's in November.
SDCC something, but yeah, that's this weekend. I have some friends who are comic book artists who will be set up there. I was going to go originally, and then it's like money's going to DesignerCon, so
rightfully so.
I shan't be attending. I shan't be. At least it's not Kevin versus MODOK. Yeah, see, I've learned from MODOK. MODOK didn't have instructions.
I said this, I don't know, whatever time on my channel a figure first started coming with this, but there's been quite a few releases from Mezco lately that have come with this like net.
Oh yeah,
I think they got a really good deal on this netting because they're packing it in with as many figures as they can. The Black Skulls, the Tectonic Disruptor, Baron Benz. I'm pretty sure this is the netting they're going to use on the Predator when it comes out. And they're just like, we got leftover spools, throw them in with every figure. I think the soft goods set came with them too.
That is another thing. Let me create these weapons for the licensed characters, and then I'm going to do some sort of Gomez, and I'm going to throw in all of those weapons and use them for Go. I'm cool with that. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant business decision.
It's strictly business. Yeah, I mean, this is the Hazard Squad gun. This is Cable's gun.
Right.
You know, they've done the other Cable gun in the other Hazard Squad pack. So, yeah, I mean, it's business, baby. I'm never gonna get mad about clever reuse. You know.
Yeah. Guys, detailing. I know this is weird. but the textured pants jeans on this, pants jeans is what it's called. You have pistols that fit in here really nicely, or handguns that look cool in the holster. This is dope. I think DK is gonna get this because he's a big cat guy. You got the super skinny jeans cuffed at the bottom with some sort of with these shoes. So yeah, if you're into it, this is cool. I'm gonna take some pictures and post this later.
I'm trying to figure out how this even goes in here because there's like two like Velcro straps on here.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how do you wrap that around Gomez. I think that's my favorite part of that whole set.
This part goes around Gomez for sure.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to figure out how to wrap the net in here.
This is one piece, one solid piece. That's cool, man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with this box. It's crazy, all the stuff that's in here. Those nets could look cool in a jungle dio. Yeah, I could see that. Mezco reuse is way different than Hasbro reuse. That's fair.
In what way?
Yeah, is it a good way or a bad way?
I mean, every company reuses. That's the bread and butter of the toy industry.
Nice. I always compare it to like cars.
Yeah.
Car company isn't going to make a new part for every different model they sell. They're going to try and fit as much on the inside as they can, right?
Right. That was, I mean, if you studied the Industrial Revolution in school, that's what they tell you is like replaceable parts or interchangeable parts were like the innovation that allowed, fabrication and industrialization to really like go forth.
Chamba says, how's the butterfly joints on Meowscles? Like it goes there.
All right.
Not too deep. Like this is a butterfly joint. This is a crazy butterfly joint. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can cock back the arms like this,
that's dope.
This should be a standard. This is there a little bit. It's definitely more than McFarlane.
How does it go back?
Back is only this much.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's too jacked. All of his delts and lats and other words that I've heard in passing are all in the way. He can't reach.
He's tacked on a lot of mass. When you tack on mass, you sacrifice flexibility. That's just a straight up fact, bro.
Yeah, I've chosen not to go that route, obviously. What's going on, Mackerson? Tuning in on Twitch. Good to see you.
Ooh, I like it. Snug. Even though like this, obviously it's the pouch was made for the gun, but because it's a soft goods pouch, this fits like an absolute dream in here.
Oh, it's so nice.
Wow. Like it fits the silhouette of it perfectly. Wow. That went in like, ooh, that felt nice. I'm so weirdly satisfied by stuff like that. Like, I think when I got my Red Death Doc Nocturnal, like I had like, 2 boxes right here, like perfectly put aside for it. And then once the box just came in and I just not opening it, just putting the box on the shelf, just that perfect slide in of the last thing to fill the shelf.
I do want to see now that I can zoom in here. What is the organization method here of the boxes? Is it brand?
Yeah, pretty much. So I have 6 Detolfs, and it's 3 DC and 3 Marvel, like inside the Detolf. So the shelves here are this left one is DC, this right one is Marvel, and then I have another like half size Billy right here for like all the other stuff basically that doesn't fit in the Detolf.
Right.
That's what the stuff in this last one is. This is like all the live action stuff.
Okay.
That's in like out of the Detolfs, but in its own separate shelf. And then you can't see it, but on top of the front of the Billies here, maybe I can kind of show it.
Is that your posters? And
yeah, I have all the Rumble Society stuff is on the top. That's because cool. All the Rumble Society stuff is on top of the Detolfs. And
then once you have Marvel and DC, is it then by team? is it then alphabetical?
It's kind of both. It's kind of by box design too. If I can really get into
mix the tins in with regular boxes.
No, so the tins are on the bottom here because they all, they all fit like so nicely on one row. So the ones up here kind of starts up here because because it basically started with these two. It kind of goes like middle out. So
middle out.
It's so middle out like Silicon Valley.
Exactly.
I use middle out algorithm to plan this shelf organization here. And basically, like since like the first generation Mezco boxes had like that extra flap design to them.
Yeah.
It's slightly thicker. So those are like the first ones in the middle right here before it like changes to the new design from then like bottom. And then these two are like next to each other. Like Superman and Joker have the same like weird box design motif. Like it seemed like early on they didn't know what to commit to, so all of them kind of have a different style guide to them. But Punisher, Superman, and Joker are the only ones that have like this weird like stripe to them, like right above the logo, if you can see here.
I have to say you've mastered this looking into the camera thing. And pointing out the boxes in reverse, because I noticed you didn't get it wrong a single time. Like you went in the right direction every time. I'm on episode 73. I don't even know which hand I'm is over like which shoulder right now. So I hope people in the chat did anyone else notice that? Like that's very this is the kind of shit that I look out for. What a weirdo.
Well, thank you. But yeah, it's basically just because it started from these two, it kind of like expands from the middle out, and then it overflows into this other one here. And then none of these really like have as much of a motif other than like the last box that I'm trying to fill in. It's just barely out of frame. But right next to Frankenstein, there's one extra space left for the Frankenstein variant that I'm missing. So that's just like a permanent empty space so that when I finally get that one, I can fill it. And then, yeah, all the Rumble Society stuff is like on top of my details and therefore on top of the Billy's because I frame all like the Rumble Society posters and stuff. So it makes sense. What I'm not good at is apparently turning the camera. But I wanted like, all the posters to go like next to the figures that they're like, displayed next to.
That's a great looking display, man.
Display video coming hopefully soon once a bunch of other stuff comes in, but that was really what was the impetus to like kind of relaunch my channel or like really like make a go at partnership and everything. Was just I got a really good response on my collection video like a couple of years ago when I moved, and then once I like rebuilt it and like was basically just the Mezco collection, then I did another one, and that was like kind of the launch of the relaunch of the channel, if you will.
Nice, man. Another really nice reuse is those new black boxes for Krieg, Red Death, Doc Nocturne. The black, it's like premium looking. It folds. All they do is stick the sticker on the front of what the character is, and then it's like, there you go. It's Rumble Society. Yeah, and it's that smaller size too, like the exclusives and everything. It's like thicker, but yeah, these are very nice boxes. I'm still waiting on Hawk P40, but he's like, it's already filled out the shelf like this way. Now I need to like put this one like on top of the other ones stacked up, and it'll fit perfect. Because it's a little shorter. MIC Figure Fanatic says, which 112 figure are you missing? It's definitely a shorter list than the ones I have. One thing off the bat that I like people ask me about if I have any, I don't have any of the Dark Knight Returns stuff anymore, just because when I was turning Mezco into my like flagship DC line, I wanted like their version of Batman, not like a specific version of Batman from Dark Knight Returns to be like the Mezco Batman in the collection. Oh, so wow. I ended up letting those go. And those go for stupid money now. So maybe I don't know if that was a smart idea, but I don't think I'll ever be going back to get them. I think if I do go back and get just one set from Dark Knight Returns, I do want the Comic-Con set because it comes with the base too. Okay. The Mutant Leader pack, the Versus pack. I'm missing Toy Fair Punisher, the one with the black skull. Shadow Assassin White Gomez. I need the Frankenstein, like I said, but I also need the
backdrop, like the resin like entryway
right.
that they did, which is like Grail status. That's like no cheaper than $600.
Do you think that didn't do well, and that's why they haven't really done anything like that since?
Yeah, I think it was
The
super niche.
diorama?
It was like so early in the line that I don't think it really had the clout for people to be like, "Oh, it's Mezco doing a Frankenstein, sick."
Yeah.
You know, it was just like that's random. Like, you know, who cares about a Frankenstein? And now that Universal Monsters is having like this really big revival now with NECA and a few other companies doing it. I think Jada Toys too. So it's getting a revival now. So I think it was just a few years too early. I think if they did it now, it'd probably be a different story.
Yeah, I think they're probably like, oh, it'd be cool. We can make this diorama piece. Didn't sell well, and they're like, well, nope, not doing that again.
Yeah, same with Star Trek, dude. I wish they had gone more complete on Star Trek. They kind of abandoned it. Understandably, I don't think it did that well. We never got the Kirk in the chair from the Tribbles episode. We never got McCoy. So, I am with an incomplete crew and 2 extra Spocks. So like I wish they had gone back on that one for sure.
They did Nosferatu a year ago, didn't they? Says
yeah.
Yeah.
Nosferatu was last year, but there's another one coming. There's
Oh,
another.
right.
There's a
Is
variant.
that one more of a generic vampire guy?
It kind of, yeah, it feels less like from the movie or like from the original media, and more like stylized, I guess, or like I don't know, not even Mezco-fied, because that Nosferatu is already Mezco-fied, but
Right.
I think yeah, giving him that weird like blood rage in his eyes or whatever.
Mackerson says, after months of traveling the United States, the Super 7 Leonardo has arrived. Big thanks to Yo. Oh, was that the Ultimates one?
Oh yeah, it's got to be.
I think he won in Ultimates Leo from. Says big thanks to Yoko and the community for making this happen. Nice.
Oh,
that's
sick,
awesome.
Dude.
Do you do Ninja Turtles? Are you into Ninja Turtles?
I did when NECA like was first doing them. I had a few of those movie sets, and I think they were great. I just don't. I specifically like the movies. I didn't really grow up with the cartoons, so that wasn't really too much for me. I had just again the Comic-Con sets.
That's cool.
But overall, no, I'm not really too big of a Turtles guy. The one I grew up with was the 2003 series. So if anyone touches that, I'm screwed. But so far, nobody really has.
Were you worried when Mezco did that one promo, that bodega? Was it the bodega box that had the turtle hand coming out of the sewer? Were you sweating? You're like, oh no, here we go.
I don't know how nervous I would be. I mean, it would be a given. Like I probably would get them.
You're like, I'm gonna buy it anyway.
Obviously, but more as far as like, is that smart for Mezco to do turtles now? Like so many other companies have done them and gone deep with them that they would really have to like do something very different, very impressive. So that's why a lot of people are thinking if they do it, they might go with like Last Ronin, and just really a very stylized, very specific version, but that makes more sense for the Mezco medium. Can't really get a lot of soft goods other than like the leather straps and stuff unless you want to give them all trench coats, which is fine too. But the idea of the hero regular looking version of the Turtles from Mezco, what are you really getting that other companies aren't doing?
Yeah, it's nothing. It wouldn't be anything new. I think that's a cool idea. The Last Ronin one with all of their all of those designs. I could see that. I would buy that too.
Yeah, right. I mean, that would be, I think, different enough that it could show up on the scene and not feel like anyone who's already got all the other stuff from all the other companies can just add this to their things, to their list of Turtles product. Whereas somebody who, if Mezco comes out with the core team with the 4 Turtles in one set for $420, like the Fantastic Four or whatever, I think there'd be enough people being like, yeah, I have enough complete Turtles teams from X amount of other companies, or even just one other company, that I don't need another $400 complete set,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you're in for 4 of those too.
Exactly. And they would have to do it as a set, I would imagine, given all the way they've done everything else.
The Pulse box, I think I'm going to halt it there for now on the Pulse box, because I don't want to just open some stuff just for the sake of opening it. Some of the stuff are lines that I don't go heavy with, and I wanted to save some things for like a giveaway here later on or on IG. So I'm not just gonna go open that stuff for the sake of opening. I want to help. Stop putting this picture of my skin arm. Uh, people who support the channel, who put me in this position to get this stuff. I want to give some of the ones, some of them back to people. And like, I'm not gonna open it, put it Reboxing Friday, and then give it to people. So, I've been thinking about what to do with some of these items. So I'm gonna leave that. So please stick around in the channel with the channel. Subscribe. Make sure you follow on IG at toyingaround to see what becomes of some of these items. Last week when I did the video with did the stream with Ryan and Kyle, I had so much stuff then that I didn't even get to. Like there's this Revoltech Woody from Toy Story that I got in. I wanted to see if it goes well with the Beast Kingdom, which I don't think it does because of the size, but they both are fantastic.
Beast Kingdom is another one of those companies that has kind of burst on the scene and kind of impressed. Honestly, I don't really mess with their scale much.
Right.
I think what they're doing with their soft goods is pretty good.
And like they have DC, so they're doing a lot of DC stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, aren't they doing it Keaton?
I believe they teased it. Yeah, they just teased it.
I think I saw on Toy Migos that they teased the '89 Batman.
Yeah, and they're doing a Superman already too with light up features. So they're doing some cool stuff over there for sure.
There's this. I still have a Super 7 Ultimates Metalhead and April O'Neil that I didn't get to last week. Like it's a lot. NYC Figure Fanatic says, "How are you not opening the Cantina?" Figured that would be the first one. PulseCon. It's an exclusive. It looks nice. It's the whole diorama in the thing. If I can get two, then I'll open one. I think. Then I can at least one.
You mean if you get 3, you can open 2?
No, I can't. How am I gonna sell that Obi-Wan? There's like 8 versions of him out already. I sell it with the aliens. That might work. Are you into any of these Toy Story figures? I know this one's kind of old.
I was a Toy Story fan growing up. I think it was ultimately how I realized I had an interesting relationship with toys, I guess, because I remember watching Toy Story 2 and thinking the toy restorer guy was like the coolest dude ever. Like I want to see a whole movie about him.
Yo, do you remember the IG days where like Perv Woody was just prevalent in every photo?
Oh, who could forget? Is that the Perv Woody?
Yeah, this is the is it the Legacy? Yeah, Legacy of Rebel. It's not the original, it's a reissue. So the ones that are super hot, they'll reissue it from time to time. So this is the Perv. See, he's got the creepy face, the smiling face, but because you can move the eyeballs on these, kind of like Beast Kingdom, so it gives you the Perv face. And I've been itching to get to this. Oh, it's cool. There's like
Oh, you got a little backdrop. Show this dude real quick, just because I put the harness on him. I think this looks pretty tight, like weaving it through underneath the other one.
Beast Kingdom Iron Man Knight. Oh yes, it's like I think they announced 2 of them.
Yeah.
Cerebral Deep.
Yeah, I think they're 8-inch scale though, right? They're slightly bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the scale kind of doesn't really have a place in my collection. So the DC stuff I can pass on. But they have Darkwing Duck coming out, I think.
Yeah.
A bunch of really cool stuff. So it's definitely tempting me.
Yeah, that's where nostalgia is a powerful drug, I guess. I mean, it's crazy the amount of, I don't know, stuff that you might have a tangential or passing like relationship with from like having grown up with it, but as soon as there's a product of it in front of you, it's like, gotta have it. I remember this thing. Yeah, I gotta get it now. It's just
like, oh, it's so cool. Now it's a toy. Like,
right.
This is a Beast Kingdom Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, okay.
And
I had
comes off. You can move his eyeballs and everything.
Growing up, I forget which company did them, but I remember maybe one of the first times I went to Disneyland as like a kid. not necessarily a toddler, but like not a teenager, not a tween, as a kid. I remember going, and they had a line that I think I can only find like exclusively at the parks. But I remember buying like this crazy like vac metalized Buzz Lightyear where you could like attach a rocket to him and stuff. But he was all like shiny and vac metal. I remember that was like, it was really well articulated for the time, and I remember that's what I liked about it without like knowing, how to verbalize that.
You didn't know there was terminology for it.
Nah, I just thought, look, it moves like the movie. But I think they didn't have like the regular version, so I had to get some, vac metal variant.
I think the Beast Kingdom Iron Man was shorter than 8 inches by a few centimeters. That is a very weird way to describe something in both inches and centimeters. Yeah, I don't think those are for me. They do look cool though. If I were some sort of Iron Man completionist, definitely get those. I think those would scale well with
bless everybody try to build a Hall of Armor.
Those Tamashi movie realization ones where it's like Japanese inspired Star Wars or Marvel characters. That would look cool together. Let's see. Do you have much left? Do you want to go like another?
Yeah, we can wrap it up at any point, really. I mean, I'm gonna watch Dune tonight actually with a roommate who's a big fan.
Oh yes, you are West Coast. Will you be now that you know that DesignerCon is happening? Do you think you will be attending?
I think if I know you're there, I think I might double up my efforts to go. In fact, if I had known about it before today, I would have already thought, okay, yeah, maybe I'll go this year, right? It'd be nice. It was the last con I went to before everything shut down. It would be nice if it was the first one back. Cool. Now that I know you're going, then hell yeah.
Yeah, because it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know really what to expect. I've got an idea of it now from you. Thank you. So I have to bring my nice shoes and
really even bring some shoes that you might want to have cleaned up. I got a free shoe shining while I was there.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was sick.
I do have some shoes that do need cleaning. Man, this is
I'm really liking this Moss Squatch though. Like he feels really nice in your hand. Like it grips like really well. I don't know.
The joints on mine were kind of stiff at first, like the torso. I thought it was really limited, but I just slowly crunched it a little bit more, and I got a lot more range out of it.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. I've seen some reviews. I think it was Dante. I forget, Dante Elion. I don't remember his YouTube channel name, but Dante, I think he had a backwards bicep on his Moss Squatch. So he had like the tricep right here, like in the front. So it couldn't bend like all the way. It would look like this, and like the bend of it wouldn't go all the way. So his articulation was like more limited because of that, but it's supposed to go this way. And
I think
a little bit closer to 90.
Adam's Moss Squatch has 2 left thighs.
No way. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I can understand in the factory getting confused because, I mean,
it looks the same.
It looks all the same with all the flocking and everything. It's a straight, bro.
Man, I'm just playing. He says it was like 7. My bad, Butter Bear, and Beast Kingdom Iron Man is 20 centimeters in the US, 7 7/8 inches. I'm just playing. It's all good, man.
Loki, I see that.
He is. He says you hitting that Moss Squatch.
Bro, I'm getting cheaped up on this Moss Squatch, you know what I'm saying?
And then going to watch Dune.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm pretty excited. We're gonna watch it here at the house, though. I don't really feel like going to the theater right now.
What streaming service is it on?
It just came out on HBO Max, actually, like today. It was originally, I think, supposed to come out next week, but I think it came out internationally online, and so they just moved up the domestic release date to match it. Man, it's kind of wild. Like how delayed the film industry has been. Like there's stuff I worked on like 3 years ago that still isn't out. It's kind of wild.
What stuff have you worked on that is out that you can talk?
That is out?
Out and about.
there's a couple things I've worked on that are like on Hulu and stuff right now. Like I worked on American Horror Stories, like the weird like single episode spin-off series where
Right.
it's like every episode is a different story or whatever. So I did the Christmas episode of that. That was fun. It was like a big TikTok influencer house party thing. It's crazy. What else? Oh, there's a show that I remember doing it probably like almost 2 years ago, like way pre-pandemic. And I think it was taking a while to like get shopped around or whatever. But when I worked on it, it was called The Platform, but it just came out on Hulu. I think it just finished airing like last week, and it's called The Platform. Or no, not The Platform. The Premise. And it's basically same thing. It's like a single episode, like anthology, and each episode stars like a different actor or whatever. But I worked on the episode with John Bernthal.
Oh, nice.
And it's probably the best episode of the whole season, just on its premise alone, if you will. But I actually got to speak to him on set, and it was fun because I'd worked also on Ford versus Ferrari, and I like casually said hi to him there. But then I just small talk like, oh, but I also worked on Ford vs. Ferrari. Yeah, the weather that day, that was super hot, just a little small talk or whatever. But he was so nice. Like anyone who's like a few of my other friends who like do the same thing I do have like had bigger conversations with him. One of them who's a collector too, and straight up told him like, yo, I have your action figure, like that kind of thing. And he's like super like nice and open about it. He's like, oh, you got that action figure? Let me see it. Like he made my friend pull out his phone so he could show him his Mezco Punisher
cool.
and everything.
That's very cool.
So nothing but nice things to say about John Bernthal. But the show itself, the premise, the episode that he's on, I think it's episode 2 of the series. It's on Hulu. Very good. The overall premise of it, without spoiling it, is John Bernthal plays like a dude who's trying to work in like a gun lobby, like an NRA kind of like, lobbying the government for guns, like company.
Okay.
And the people in the company are like, what's up with this guy? Because he keeps bringing to like the job is very like open carry, as they would be for people who advocate for it. But the dude keeps showing up to work with more and more guns. Like, he goes through the metal detector and like, goes from a tiny little sidearm to like full on arsenal. And they just like keep checking him through. It's interesting. It's good for sure.
Is this like a Punisher prequel or something?
You might think so.
You could tie it together.
But it's good. That was I don't know. There's some like bunch of random stuff that I work on that I like don't even see most of the time when it comes out. That's just like the stuff that I kind of remember that I'll like look out for, because I remember like either having a good experience or like kind of knew going into it that this was going to be like a good thing.
That seems like such a Hollywood thing to say. It's like, oh, I've never seen the film completed. No, this is my first time watching it at the premiere.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's you only get to see like the slice of it that you inhabit, and then you don't really get to. There's so much time that happens between that versus, when it actually comes out, and tons has changed since then. There's something coming out in December that I'm very, very excited to talk about, but I won't until then. But I will say it's something that you and I should definitely talk about.
Oh, okay. December. That's not far off, man.
It's not far off, and I'm super stoked about it. But
That's
the
cool.
time will come. Like there will come a time where I'm able to talk about it very openly, but until that time, I have to be cagey.
Fair enough. Yeah. Are you a Sopranos fan? Speaking of John Bernthal.
Dude, I'm actually watching it for the first time right now. I'm on season 3.
Dude, I'm watching it for the 3rd time. I just started season 3.
That's so funny because I actually also wanted to ask you at some point if you watch Sopranos, because I love it and I like need to talk about it with people.
It's fantastic. Was it because earlier?
So good.
Every time I watch it, I start talking like, in that style, because someone said something earlier and I was like, oh, I'm like, hey, that's a very Soprano style reaction to something. So very like that whole New Jersey.
Yeah, I've definitely gone from saying gabagool ironically to like actually.
Yeah, I order gabagool all the time.
Yeah, I'm 20 years too late. Like obviously it's a great show. It's legendary how good the show is, but actually like sitting down and watching it, I like get it in terms of I see how much it's influenced since.
Yeah.
You see you know, when you go back and watch anything that's had a ton of influence, at first it can be like, it can feel derivative because you feel like since that's come out, you've seen that 100 times before.
Yes.
But then you have to realize, I know everyone else got it from here. Like it's crazy how influential it was. So
to see like a protagonist on screen go and just kill people and blow their brains out was like, that's crazy. You think of how much more it's been done since then.
right, yeah, like you take what is essentially an unredeemable character and somehow make them likable and relatable, and the way they accomplish that is by juxtaposing, you know, Tony Soprano's violent mob behavior and crimes with his rather endearing family home life.
Right.
It's pretty brilliant, and I love those little moments in the show all the time when like when he goes to visit his mom at some point in like season 2 or something, or maybe season 1, and he comes out. He like comes in with like a bunch of cookies, and like she doesn't want them, so he leaves with the box of cookies, and he meets his like cop informant friend outside, and they have their exchange about their criminal illicit behavior, and then it's capped off with, "What do you got in that box? Oh, cookies? Can I get one? Okay, sweet." And then just walks away. That's the end of the scene. Like it's so humanizing and like really entertaining to watch that it can just like.
Did you start watching it because the movie that just came out, or it just
partially? Yeah. It was always kind of on my list, but once Many Saints came out, a friend of mine was telling me that I should watch it because he's a Sopranos fan already, and he's telling me that I should watch it because I guess he thought I watched it already too. And I'm like, maybe I'll just watch the movie because it's technically a prequel, and then I'll get into the show after. And he's like, no, definitely don't do that.
I was excited for the movie because I was a fan of the show, and then I watched the movie and I was like, I don't like this. I'm gonna go watch the show now. So I signed up for, in Canada here, Crave TV, which has HBO, because some of the other means of watching it was not working out for me. So I'm like, whatever. I signed up for it. Luckily, it has like 89 Batman on there on this Crave service, so I can watch that. Curb Your Enthusiasm is coming out soon. They have shows that I watch, like
that's another one I've been meaning to get into.
Curb?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know it through the memes and through you know pop culture osmosis, but I've never actually taken the time to like watch it myself. I will say my favorite show of all time, comedy show, is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That is like that is peak like top form comedy for me.
Awesome.
In terms of, I mean, the way they perform it, obviously that I relate a lot to it in terms of it coming from an improv background with these kind of like loosely written beats to it. It's kind of how I like.
Curb is kind of like that too.
Right.
From what I hear, it's like he'll give you the plot points that you want to get to in a scene, but the rest of it is a lot of improvisation.
One thing I like, just a funny Curb mention that happened to me one time on set. I think it was like a week or two after I'd come back from my New York trip, and while I was in New York, I went to see the Nathan's hot dog eating contest for 4th of July. Are you familiar with this?
I know of it. I don't watch it.
Okay, well, it's a spectacle, and honestly, it was better than WrestleMania. Okay. It was crazy, and as part of it, we had to get the souvenir shirts, and my girlfriend's like dad, you know, has like a bunch of the shirts or whatever, and we wanted to get him this year's shirt, so we did. And then whatever, I come back to town, and I'm on set a couple weeks later, and there's a dude on one of the crew guys is wearing a Nathan's hot dog eating contest shirt, and I go up to him and I'm like, "Oh man, I went this year. Did you watch it online? Like, where'd you get that? What year is that shirt from?" And he's like, "Oh no, this is from Curb." Like, I guess wow. they did an episode of the hot dog eating contest or something, and I don't know if it was a newer episode or what. I don't think it's one like yet to come out, but it was one that was made for the show that the dude was wearing, and I had no follow up. Another embarrassing moment of me approaching someone with what I think is a perfect in, and then, oh no, it's just this, and I have no follow up because I don't watch that show. Sorry, sir.
You're like, well, I got nothing else. Later.
I walk away and the theme music plays.
The Curb theme.
That's all I know.
So if you guys don't know, like Reveltech has the movable eyes. It has a tool that you can hook the eyeball things in the back to get the expression. I had a Curb moment the other day. I was at Tim Hortons, and my Canadian people will know Tim Hortons, and I order This will be the last story because it has nothing to do with toys, but I have to get this off my chest. I order an everything bagel with urban garlic cream cheese, and then the guy comes out with the order. He shouts it out, and then some guy's like, yeah, that's mine. So he grabs it and he takes it, and then I wait another like 10 minutes, and my bagel's still not out. And then I see that first guy who took the order. He was at the other end. He's like, I got the wrong food. I got the wrong food. So I said to the guy, I'm like, where's my order? Like, oh, someone took it. Someone took the wrong bagel. And I'm like, what the hell, man? So they finally make it. I wait another like 5 to 8 minutes. And then I actually go up to the guy. I'm like, hey, did you get the wrong bagel earlier? And he's sitting with his wife. And then they're like, yeah, I got the wrong food. And I look and they're eating a bagel with like egg and tomato and cheese. And I'm like, this is nowhere near what you picked up from the guy. So I'm like, yo, next time, like, don't take other people's food. And the wife got mad at me. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you take other people's food. Now I got to wait. And then she's like, you don't talk to my husband like that. I'm like, what did I say to him that's wrong? Like, I told you can't take other people's food. And she got really pissed off. And I'm like, I walked out. I'm like, that was like a curb moment, but it wasn't as funny. But like, it's something that Larry David would do, and I probably shouldn't be emulating the show. How do you get a tomato, lettuce, and cheese egg sandwich and get cream? I was pissed.
Oh, what the heck? I think they're breaking some news. I will say, I was talking about bearded. I was looking at Bearded Build's comment as far as The Office, and this actually to kind of relate what it is that I do. The perfect show to describe my life is. Have you ever seen the Ricky Gervais show Extras?
No, I wanted to get into it, and then there's so much stuff that's come out since that. Like,
it's so good. I bring it up because I was going through a Ricky Gervais kick when I like first discovered the UK Office. This is I don't know, over 10 years ago. Obviously, I'm late to the party on that one too. But for a while, they were playing the UK Office on Adult Swim when I still had like cable and stuff. So I would watch that, and I'm like, yo, this show is like actually amazing. Before I realized it was even like the actual Office, I just watched like I think it was I don't know if you've seen the UK Office, but they do like the sensitivity training episode.
Yeah,
and just watching that out of context at like 3 a.m, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. So I got into a Ricky Gervais and like British comedy in general kick at that point. So I discovered Extras and Space and a few other shows. Darth Marenghi's Dark Place. You ever seen that? God.
No, that sounds absurd though, based on the name.
It's also brilliant. I guess you can describe any British TV show as brilliant, just because that's the way they describe anything good. But it's a show about the cast reunion of a 20-year-old show that doesn't actually exist, but it's like it was this horror hospital TV show that these actors used to work on, and like that's part of the show. Another part of the show is the actors talking about their time on that show 20 years ago, like to camera. But it's like actors. It's like the dude from the IT Crowd, Richard Ayoade, and he plays like this police commissioner character, but he's also an actor, and his actor character is a terrible actor. It's so like horrendously meta, and it's really great. So I got into that. But anyway, Extras is like the perfect show to describe like kind of my day-to-day like normal work. You know, I've done all kinds of stuff from like background work to like production assistant to like personal assistant and like all kinds of like random jobs. But more than anything, it's just like it's such a weird world. It's such a weird like industry. It's so like interesting, but also like a little messed up in a lot of ways. But you know, you just gotta love like movies and stuff in general, and like love being a part of like the process, no matter how like small or insignificant it be. Oh, and Austin Kaiser with Squid Game. Yeah, Squid Game is like
I haven't even watched it yet.
Right now. You haven't seen it yet?
No.
I do recommend. It's quite good.
There's some weird. Toyrensu says Alec Baldwin killed someone. Is that right now?
Yeah, I was just seeing what that was all about. Maybe I need to do a quick little Google search. Maybe we need to do some
We can go
research.
check that out after.
What did Alec Baldwin do? Oh my God. 23 minutes ago. Alec Baldwin fatally shoots crew member with prop firearm on Phil set. Right when we get our IATSE like strike averted, now crew members are getting gunned down by actors. I mean, this is not what we wanted. Okay.
Whoever says watch Squid Game with Korean subtitle. No, watch it in Korean with subtitles. That's what I've heard too.
That's what I watched it as.
Dub version isn't as good. That's what I did with Star Wars Visions. I just have to finish like one more episode. Prop gun accident. That's tragic, man.
That's
how does
really
that?
bad.
Man, that's crazy. How that can happen.
In Santa Fe County. Yeah, this is in New Mexico. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure. Austin Kaiser sounds like an accident. I don't.
Yeah, it's got to be an accident. No one gets shot like that on purpose on a set.
Alec Baldwin in a drive-by.
Alec Baldwin. So anyway, I started blasting. Yeah, please no.
Yeah. I think that's most of the toys. I got to figure out what to do with the rest of this box.
Yeah, I gotta like
a lot of stuff.
I didn't pre like space out where these things were gonna go on the shelf. I should have.
Cool, man. So you have your shoot, that's the
I did this too, real quick. If you couldn't look enough like a spooky, Scooby-Doo villain or something.
He looks like a Halloween skeleton that's just been decked out.
Just jacked up, right? Yeah.
Mario made it back just in time for the outro.
Hell yeah.
Fabio, you are on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Fabster360.
That's right.
Make sure to follow him there for a lot of Mezco updates. You'll get, updates on releases and release dates.
Yeah, more than anything, just follow, subscribe on my YouTube channel because I again make the graphics more to discuss on the YouTube channel and stuff, and then I like kind of blast it out to social media afterwards. So it's usually more as a point of discussion, but yeah, I'm definitely trying to cover as much Mezco stuff as it happens, just because it's all kind of week to week news, which is good, for people who only collect this stuff. It keeps a steady flow of product and content coming, which is great. So yeah, definitely follow me on my channel as I cover all this stuff as it happens. And I've got a few, other things coming other than the streams. Like I'm working on kind of like a year-end, kind of mid to year-end wrap-up thing. Maybe I'll wait for Conan to come in. I'm not sure, but I want to summarize the year so far of Mezco and maybe kind of like not definitively rank a top 10, but give you some of the best releases of the year so far, in my opinion. I'm working on a review for a third-party soft goods Joker that I have from the Patriot Studio. I'm editing it right now, so hopefully
get
up sometime next week, maybe. Yeah, just if you're into Mezco, I mean, I'm trying to just cover it as much as possible and like make it entertaining. And if you're someone lurking on the sidelines, not necessarily dipping your entire body into the Mezco pool, you can, do it vicariously through either my habits or maybe I can serve as a, I don't know, what do they call it? Like a warning tale? What do they call them?
A cautionary tale.
Cautionary tale for not tipping over that first domino with your first Mezco, and then you end up with a bookcase full of them.
Many bookcases.
That's true. And but either way, I mean, I'm all about this stuff. I love talking about it. I love just sharing it with the community, and it's been great to have people be so supportive. So if you're coming along with me, check me out on YouTube here, Fobster, Instagram, Fabster360. I do a little bit of Twitch streaming every now and then. Not really enough to really tell you to go follow me there, but if you happen to be on Twitch, Fabster360. And then on Reddit, I will also plug go on r/112 collective. That's where a lot of stuff that in terms of like actual infographics and like keeping the like a good place to just follow individual updates about what's going on in Mezco. r/112 collective is a nice, like, organized place to go see all that. As well as on Discord, Figure Collective Discord is one of those. I don't know who has the link for that. I kind of got grandfathered into it. I wish I could tell you, but either way, if you don't want to go around chasing all that information, I try to package it all in one entertaining place on my channel. So definitely number
Cool.
one place to go follow me there. Thank you, Trevor. 116 Trevor, as we call him.
1-6 Trevor. Yeah, man. So
Streaming
yeah,
on Mezco Mondays. That's right.
if you guys are into this stuff, make sure you subscribe and follow.
And the
That'd
time,
be
most importantly, it's every Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. It's 8 p.m. Eastern time. Try to go for a Mezco Mondays kind of thing.
And we can also find you on the ACBA podcast.
That's right. God, it's
I mean, you don't need to plug that. People know, right?
Everybody already knows that. That's got a way bigger following than my channel. So everyone who's on my channel, I assume, came from the ACBA podcast. But yeah, on Boog's Boog_ACBA here on YouTube is where we do the ACBA podcast every Saturday. Also at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Sweet. Yeah, if everyone, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. If you have some pictures unboxing to tag me in, I'm on Instagram at toyingaround. Twitter is at I'm toying around, I think. Or just follow along there. There's going to be new pictures of some of the stuff that I unboxed tonight, some of the new figures going forward, toy news, things like that. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Fobster, thank you for your time and holding on to your toys and waiting to unbox them tonight, man. Super cool of you, and thanks for being on.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much for having me. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad to be able to chat one-on-one with you. Yeah, man, thank you. It's been great.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone, thank you for watching. Leave a thumbs up on your way out. Have a good night and keep toying around. Peace.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Good evening.